there we go. Oh, we're live. The internet can now totally see you. To stop using your encoder. Viewers may be experiencing minor issues. Well, we are here, we are live, and it is time to begin our first, stream in a little while. Last time we did it was Wednesday, but now we're back on our brand new streaming schedule, which is Wednesdays and Saturdays. And we're going to be playing a little bit of Starfleet Command, have a little bit of fun, chat a little bit, have a little banter, and then maybe go into other things. The start of the stream, of course, is going to be our normal going through our Orion Pirates campaign, and then moving on into a little bit of light skirmishing and other games if people want them. But we seem to be pretty firmly slotted into our Starfleet Command. So without further ado, let's kick things off, set back onto space, and try and get things done. So we are, of course, Commodore at this rank in our heavy battle cruiser, the Deathwing, which I need to take just a moment to reacquaint myself is a BC-2. So here's a BC-1. BC-2 is 6 missile launchers, 6 phaser 1s, 4 phaser 3s, and 4 AMDs, which hopefully is a decent amount of firepower, although we are getting in pretty much into the late era. Things are about to get kind of ugly when it comes to that. So let's take a nice, easy monster mission, something to get us started and rocking and rolling, and that way we can hopefully get a little bit more prestige, a little bit slotted into the mindset of a captain of a pirate vessel. So here we are fighting a cage monster. Is that the only one? According to sensors, yes, indeed. The fleet screen tells us it's an LCL, a living cage large, so it should have about 4 Hellbore cannons, but we're not going to let that bother us at all. We're just going to flood him with missiles, and he will die. The one advantage of having a drone cruiser like we have, which has a whole bunch of missile launchers, against a monster is, well, most monsters have absolutely no capability of defending themselves from missiles, so it's rather hilarious, actually. It's a nice, easy way to begin an evening. So our C-Rack missile launchers can fire twice per turn. This is why we're able to launch this group so early. And are these Gs or Bs? These are G-Racks. I believe they come with free anti-missile defense systems, which is why we have 4 AMD slots over here, which is quite powerful. If anyone tries to come at us with missiles, well, we will have no trouble at all. So let's see how many missiles we can actually control. We're going to start trying to build out as large of a salvo as we can using those C-Racks. We're also going to try and avoid the range on him a little bit. He is armed with what's called a Hellbore cannon. The Hellbore cannon will fire out a massive beam of, not a beam, but a bubble of energy that will hit your shields. It'll damage all of them a little bit. And we can control all but 2. Alright, gotcha. It'll hit the shields, wrap around it, dealing damage to all of them, but then it'll focus most of its damage onto the weakest shield that you have. This makes it an exceptionally good weapon for a lot of damage, especially if you can take over and exploit your enemy by just ramming them from different angles. You will always hit their weakest area. So the living cage monster will have that advantage, although I think I started firing these missiles too early. Wasn't quite paying attention at the time, and so unfortunately they may burn out before they hit. Hello, Super John. Welcome to the chat. You're the first person to say hi. You get a prize. I don't know what the prize is yet, but you have one. Take an IOU. So we're starting out nice and easily fighting this living cage monster, and we will hopefully annihilate him. Which I think, unless these missiles burn out, we should be able to do pretty easily. He's firing his elbows now, managed to get a couple of hits on us. Now he hit this side, which did the initial damage, but then it wrapped around because this shield was weaker, and it did quite a bit of damage to it. And the missiles are starting their impacting as of now. Yeah, just getting right on through, ramming him with quite the amount of damage there. He's not going to survive this bombardment. He's probably not even going to penetrate our shields. It's going to be nice and easy. Easy to completely annihilate him from this face of space. We can fire a couple of phasers on the way through. Let's increase the speed time. We're all nice and set up by this point. We don't need to draw it out any longer. He's not going to live. He simply does not have the capability of fighting back sufficiently. And we have quite a few missiles that we can dump on him. Yeah, you are totally gone for. So the one interesting thing about monsters is they have a maximum speed, which the more damage they take, the slower they have to go. And there we go. So a nice easy starting mission just to get ourselves stretched out for what hopefully will become a much more interesting match. And yeah, let's get things more or less rolling at this point. We are probably going to go home, try and reload a little bit on missiles. That way we can be fully prepared for whatever comes our way. After all, if we run out of missiles, then we lose most of our heavy weapons. By most, I mean all. So 29 damage just from the engine because we do not maintain it all that well. And we'll restock on a whole bunch of missiles here. Cost us 60. How am I doing for this? We're fine on all that. We're going to do a quick check through the shipyard just to make sure they're not providing any dreadnoughts of any description. Does not appear so, although there is another BC-2. And I'm going to ignore a convoy escort. Let's pop over to cartel view, see what it is we're dealing with. Oh yeah, we're invading this planet, so let's keep the pressure on, except for not a convoy mission if at all possible. I'd rather do mostly bombardment missions than actually try and, you know, protect convoys from multiple angles. It gets really ugly really fast. So, red alert, and there is no target at this point. Hopefully one will show up, so we'll just pick up our speed, get everything rigged for combat. And I need a speed of around 24, because that's the missiles that we're using. I can't really pay attention to what this thing says. The bar for the pirate is very difficult to read. I mean, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's drop down to about there, I think is 24. I wish that I had an extra little dial that told me the speed that I was setting in. That would make things so much easier. Alright, so we are cruising along now. Let's set ourselves up for an electronic countermeasure of maximum. That way we are as defended from the enemy as possible, and we'll give our forward shields a little bit of reinforcement so we're ready to fight anything that comes our way. And it is a Gorn heavy cruiser. What kind? It's an MCC, so it's a medium command cruiser. It'll be equipped with a pretty decent amount of plasma, and hopefully not much else. We should be able to kite him pretty well. In fact, I'm going to see how much power do I have for free now that my phaser capacitor is full. 8.5. I'm going to start sapping that to get some more speed out of the ship. We're going to zip along as fast as we can and just start laying into him. So I think the plan must be... Well, we are in a combat range, so let's engage with everything. We'll start our turn immediately, start trying to draw things out. We will follow up with the second salvo. This salvo is pretty much guaranteed to be eaten up by a Wild Weasel shuttle. It's not going to get through. Wild Weasel shuttles go out and they mimic your drive signature, and so missiles and plasma torpedoes and any other guided weapons will go for them. Will go for the shuttle instead of the main ship. It's a very powerful defensive weapon. However, it does leave you extremely vulnerable. The major problem that you'll have with a Wild Weasel is you can't launch it above the speed of 4. So if you try to do that, you'll actually suddenly immediately crash stop in order to slow down to get under that speed so that this system is actually useful to you. If you launch it from below that speed, then it won't crash stop you, but because you crash stop, you're stuck where you are for a little while. So this will be able to demonstrate quite nicely what it is we're talking about. The incoming missiles, and his speed is starting to drop rapidly. He is preparing to drop that Wild Weasel, and there it goes. And all of those missiles completely wasted. Hit the Wild Weasel instead of the actual ship, which is a very powerful defensive maneuver, as we said. But now he's not moving. And he's going to have to stay still for a little while, which unfortunately is probably going to get him killed. So launching a whole bunch more missiles, we probably are going to have to wait until the rest of our salvos going through. And he'll grab 2, but then they'll just start getting through. We've already picked up a situation where he's not going to be able to defend himself. Yep, he grabs 2 at a time. I'm going to wait for these missiles to hit him before I dump another whole salvo on top of him. We are going to try and stay at kind of high speed just to make sure that he can't hit us with anything big. He does have plasma torpedoes, a pretty decent number of them, although we're not in range to figure out what type. S's and F's. Excellent. And a nice little swarm getting on in there. We got to make sure that we come in with concentrations, otherwise he is going to pick them off one by one. So another big missile concentration right at his front. He's not able to engage me at this time. He's turning around trying to get more phasers on target. Should be able to follow up with those fairly shortly. And this is just the steady, slow death of a Gorn cruiser. He is high energy turning, but he didn't actually use it, and then a whole bunch of missiles got through. So we're just going to try and keep the pressure on a bit more. He doesn't have a shuttle bay anymore, so he can't deploy any more Wild Weasels, as they are, after all, shuttles that you deploy. And he's at a pretty rough spot. A little bit of phaser firepower, getting some damage on through, slowing him down a bit more, damaging a couple of systems. I would use a probe to check out what's going on with him if I were a major faction. Unfortunately, the pirates up until the X era don't get probes for some reason. It's really kind of weird. It does mean that we have to actually get in close if we want to learn anything about our enemy, although I think at this point he's probably dead. Yeah, he's not moving fast enough, and his weapons are probably mostly offline. There we go. A nice, easy, long-range engagement, taking him down from beyond a point where he can do anything to us. He did fire a single plasma F torpedo, but it just wasn't fast enough in order to pick us up. And so we were able to get away nice and clean. 276 prestige is our reward. Unfortunately, the planet is resisting our attempts. Cartel defense is down to 10, so hopefully we will have it shortly. We're going to quickly resupply, pop off the area, and then jump right back into it just to see if we can't grab it soon. Who are we fighting at this point? Prime Industries. Ah, that would explain a lot. So let's jump. Oh, we are unfortunately demanded that our services are required for a diplomatic delivery. Some random diplomat, or mob boss in this case, has probably tapped our ship and said, hey, I want your ship to take me to this planet, which is currently defended by a Romulan dreadnought. And a King Condor. Wow. So this is the biggest dreadnought in the Romulan Navy at the moment. It is a King Condor. It is equipped with no less than 2 R-type plasma torpedoes, another 2 S's and 2 F's, I believe? It's a lot of firepower. We're not fighting that. And this is a heavy Condor, which could have 4 pseudo-frigates, or pseudo-fighters, which are incredibly dangerous. We're going to try and do this mission without getting involved with anybody. We're just going to pick up the pace to the maximum and duck in between them. So we will, of course, prep a scatter pack and a wild weasel just as a precaution, but the plan is going to not be to engage. It's going to be to run through and not get involved with these guys. Because if we try that, we'll probably lose. I mean, I can fire heavy weapons at him, but he probably won't get through. Our only real goal is to evade at this point, because if we do try and fight him, oh, they're going to rip us a whole new one. It'd be nice if we could take him on, but I'm somewhat realistic in what we're going to be dealing with. And it's going to be probably 6 pseudo-frigates from both of these ships, and it's going to get ugly fast. So I'll engage with missiles at this point. Now, the one advantage we could use is he's not going to use his cloaking device as long as we keep at range. So we do have that going for us. Well, and he won't deploy his pseudo-frigates. We'll dance with them for a little bit, just to see what they've got going for them. Because if we play our cards right, we may actually be able to cause quite a bit of damage to them. And besides, at the end of the day, we're quite fast. The only thing we need to do for a diplomatic delivery is slip by them and beam somebody onto the planet. So that could work out rather well, actually. We're going to give it a shot. I don't see why not. I know that I was all like, oh, we must be terrified of what we're about to receive, but this is possibly not terrible. I will prep another wild weasel just in case. We do want to have multiple. Redundancy is, of course, very important when fighting super heavy Romulan battleships. He is passing through a dust cloud, which is interesting. So he's taking damage to his forward shield. It's not a whole lot of damage, and it's not a whole lot that we can do about it, but every little bit helps. That's what I was afraid of. So he does have what's called a D-type plasma torpedo launcher, and it is a defensive plasma torpedo launcher, which means every single volley that I send his way is getting through. Or is not getting through, because he just can shoot them down. He can launch like 8 of them at a time, which is quite damaging. So we're just going to slowly skirt around him. We'll fire our missiles just for moral effect, but we're not going to get anything done to him. And at this point, he should be launching his wild weasels. Or not his wild weasels, but his pseudo-fighters. Yep, on his other side, his plasma torpedo D is getting involved, opening fire. It'll shoot all those missiles now without any trouble at all. Oh, but it did get a response for him to attempt to use a wild weasel shuttle. That's quite fascinating. We're going to pass kind of close to him. I want to avoid hitting this rock over here. But if I go kind of like this, I can dump a whole other missile volley on top of you. I don't know what you've got, but I can guess. And if you get close enough to it, then you're going to be able to defend yourself quite well. Yeah, we're not getting missiles through on the King Condor. It's just too well defended. We might be able to get something on the King Condor, though. Or nothing. This is the King Condor. This is the Heavy Condor. The Romulans, of course, not super amazingly inventive with their names. And so it leads to situations like this. Don't get too close to me. You have really big missiles I don't want to have to fight. We're going to pick up the pace, go maximum speed at this point, and just try and get away. He also has D-type plasma torpedoes. Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, we can't fight that, unfortunately. We'd love to, but we just kind of don't have the capability. It's too much firepower. And that is, of course, a crash stop for a shuttle. Yeah, they're too close to each other. They're supporting each other. It'd be really cool to count coup on them, but I'm not going to try. Not anymore. I mean, we fired a whole bunch of missiles. We tried to get a little bit through, but nothing quite connected. So the smart move is to get the heck out of here. Which we shall, because that's our mission. We're not here to antagonize the Romulans, although that's always amusing. We're here to drop off a diplomat and get the heck out of here. I'll see if I can't influence him to try and crash stop again, because he's picking up speed as fast as he can, which will hopefully reduce engagement times so that our missiles might get closer to him. But I wouldn't hold out too much hope about this. They are quite stretched out, which is helpful. He only was able to shoot down 4, but that's fine, because he can then pick up the other ones with a tractor beam. What is taking his hits to the front? I'm really kind of curious on that. Is he really passing through a dust cloud? Because we tried and we didn't get touched by the dust cloud at all. So I'm a little confused about what's going on with that. Making sure we get all the missiles out, just see what we can penetrate. If we can get penetrating hit, that would be really cool, but I doubt we have the magazines for it. Yeah, we're down to 3 rounds. We've got 3 missiles in our G-Rack magazines. Our C-Racks are down to 1 apiece. So we've got 1 more big salvo and then we're done. So I doubt that these missiles will get to him in time. Luckily, we don't need to. We're just going to stop by the conference plant. We're going to drop off our special diplomat. And he will, of course, resolve all of these problems. Shut off the target lock just so I can kind of aim to not hit the planet. We're going to skim the atmosphere and brush right on through. So our range is 6.5, and we're in transporter range. Dropping the shield. The diplomat is over to the planet. And we're gone. That should be mission accomplished as we soar on by. Can't look at you because the planet gets in the way. Let's not crash into the planet, hopefully. Yeah, full power. They're not going to be able to catch us. I mean, they can try all they want, but it's not going to happen. So we're just going to start firing a couple more parting salvos towards them just to say bye. Because we're out of here. I'm going to bring up the map real quick. How close is the edge? Quite close. So we'll increase the speed of time, and we'll just bombard them with missiles as we pass by. Because you cannot catch me. The diplomat has been deployed. Nothing will stop our aggressive negotiations at this point. Oh, we are really getting low on ammunition. Yeah, this wreck is completely empty. But there's the line, and to warp.
Engage warp drive.
Excellent. And a mission accomplished. Didn't even have to fight anybody. We did fire a couple of missiles, and I think we may have even gotten one through, which was pretty cool. But, yeah, diplomat delivered, and nice and safe. Victory, of course, shall be ours, despite the fact we didn't kill them. Only 100 prestige, obviously, because, you know, we didn't actually take the planet, which would have been super useful. Gotta quickly stock up on supplies as long as we're here. That way we are all set and ready to go. And just a quick perusal through the shipyard. Again, we're looking for a battleship, or a dreadnought of any description, because it would be very nice to have a battleship while going up against that. We have a BCH-2, which is the exact same ship that we have, except not. What's the difference between a heavy battlecruiser and a normal Marauder battlecruiser? 24644 versus 24644. Total engine power is 40 and 3630. So it's a slightly better power pack and plus 4 shields on the front. That's not really worth it. I'm not going to bother investing in that. We're just going to take another mission and see what we can't get accomplished. MET-17 patrol is kind of buggy, but we're going to risk it just in case. That way, if we accomplish the mission, we'll get this down to an Empire defense or a cartel defense of 5, which puts it in very much the danger zone to be captured. Being escorted today by the Federation themselves, USS Berlin off our port bow, and he is a drone cruiser as well, equipped with no less than 5 G-Rack missile launchers, which also gives him 5 anti-aircraft or anti-missile defense systems. Very useful. Also, 4 Gatling phasers. Wow. Are you an escort light cruiser? Yep, new escort cruiser with the R-Type refit. I'm not sure what the R-Type refit grants him. It may just be a power upgrade, but most our refits are rear-firing weapon arc refits. So that is quite the handy little escort we've got along with us. He'll be able to shoot down any missile that comes our way. A single OCAR coming in towards us. It is a pirate vessel, despite the fact we're seeing a Marak on the MFD. Just a small, minor thing in the mod. And we'll pick up even more speed. We're also going to activate our electronic countermeasures. Full power there. All additional power to the forward shield, just in case. We really don't need it, but we're going to give it a shot. And yeah, we'll just get in nice and close, figure out what he's doing, and launch a whole bunch of missiles into his face. So open fire with our initial salvo. It won't get anything done, because he will unfortunately be able to lock that thing down with a Wild Weasel. But our second follow-up salvo will be quite effective. It'd be nice if I could launch a missile that would, well, simulate all these missiles and cause him to drop a Wild Weasel, so I didn't have to waste so many weapons. Unfortunately, the AI is not stupid enough to realize that a MIRV is not a full-powered missile, and so it won't care about it if I fire one of those. Not that we have them yet. MIRVs are currently not available to our pirate faction. A MIRV, of course, is a multiple independent re-entry vehicle, which in this game means one missile becomes 6 missiles, and it's quite effective. In our current standard Marak campaign, we have a MIRV heavy cruiser, and it is absolutely amazing. So 12 missiles currently in the air at the moment. The first group he's going to have no trouble taking care of. A couple of photon torpedoes, neither one hitting. Firing from that range, if you fired him on normal mode, he had less than a 50% chance to hit. He had a 33% chance, because between the ranges of 50 and 30... Oh, wow. This could be a problem. Between the ranges of 50 and 30, he only has a 33% chance to hit. So his anti-missile defense system is no longer available. Not that he needs it. Holy crap. We've got a problem. Could dump a whole bunch more missiles in front of him. He's holding on to a lot of them, but unfortunately it's going to be quite difficult. Yep, there goes his crash stop. Alrighty, so he immediately dumped a crash stop on us. So that will allow him to get rid of all of those missiles, as well as launch out a little Wild Weasel, which should shut off shortly. And our little friend the Berlin should be able to come in and deal quite a bit of damage. He, unfortunately, like most AI, is stuck with slow drones, so he is not going to have a whole heck of a lot of opportunities to use those missiles, but we're going to get close. We're going to charge up all our missiles for a point-blank range shot. Actually, all up to the range. So point-blank range, dumping a whole bunch into him. Hopefully some will get through that defense. Look at all of those tractor beams. He's having no trouble at all holding on to all of them. We're going to have to suffer through this bombardment a little bit. We'll launch a couple of C-Rack missiles onto him just as soon as we crash through this one. Get those missiles out. Hopefully they'll get away in time. Now, he doesn't have any more opportunities to use the Wild Weasel for another turn as the shuttle bay recharges. But still, holding that many missiles is a bit of a problem. I'm really tempted to grab onto him with the tractor beam. Even more missiles grabbed. Oh, wow, you are impressive. Fire a photon torpedo into his point blank. And our own anti-missile defense is getting a kick out of this. And I don't think we actually got any of our other missiles through. So we're really stuck on using energy bombardment on this guy. Unfortunately, he has a fairly potent backup in his photon torpedoes. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, he dropped it himself. Okay, never mind. But look at those Gatling phasers. The Berlin is just coming in and doing work at this point. We're going to cruise on in here, use our phaser bombardment first. We'll pass through, dump a whole bunch of missiles on top of them. Hopefully get a couple of shots on through. And get ready for the missile follow-up just as soon as we pass outside of our minimum range. Dump it right on top of them. Deal with that. Catastrophic failure. Overwhelm his defenses and annihilate. That was the goal. And victory was achieved. Unfortunately, taking a look at the Berlin really kind of shows just how far behind pirates are compared to the major nations at this point. Because that ship was packing triple green shields all around. We've only got triple greens on our front, and we're an entire class and a half above him. Cartel defense, unfortunately, is still at 10, so we're still working on actually knocking that down. But we do need to probably start looking into buying a brand new ship. Something that has a little bit heavier energy armament, something that we can actually rely on in a straight-up full-on battle, rather than trying to skip around the enemy using missiles, because the defenses are starting to become quite significant. And if we can't overcome those defenses, well then, victory will be theirs, and that would be bad. We'll take the fleet action, see what else they're going to throw at us. Hopefully we'll get a nice big group of ships to crash into each other. And nope, it's going to be a fairly small operation with the USS Napoleon, who is a fairly decent heavy war destroyer. He's equipped with 3 photon torpedoes and 3 missile launchers, all G-Rex, which give him 3 A-type anti-missile defense systems, which are very effective when used en masse, as, you know, we have the same setup. And he's also packing, what, 2, 3, 4, only 4 phaser ones. That's actually a little light for a heavy war destroyer. But heavy war destroyers are very effective. They're one of the best ships that the Federation ever comes out with. We get a nice little pass of what it looks like. Alrighty, so let's increase speed of time so we actually know what it is we're about to deal with, and we'll kick up the engine speed. And electronic countermeasures to the maximum, just in case we run into anybody who's truly scary. They won't be able to actually hit us. And there is our enemy off in the distance. It is a heavy cruiser and a heavy cruiser. So the Gorn and the Federation are currently duking it out, apparently. We're going to set up a Wild Weasel and a Scatter Pack, just in case. Gorn, of course, known for their super heavy plasma use, which is moderately terrifying. A couple of really good hits from the heavy war destroyer. He's also got fighters, which he's deployed. So we're looking at an R and 2 F-type plasma torpedoes. The R is the largest plasma torpedo in the game. It does 50 damage, which is absolutely huge. The 2 Fs, on the other hand, smallest plasma torpedo in the game. So those will not deal much damage at all. Now, it doesn't look like he's got any D-type plasma torpedoes or any sort of anti-missile defense systems, and we are outnumbered and outgunned. Oh, that is not good. So we're actually looking at 3 heavy cruisers. Okay, I have concerns now. We'll prep another one of these. As long as he's traveling away at a speed of 25, I can't possibly catch him. Or not with my missiles at any rate. They only travel at a speed of 24. This could be a moderate problem. I think we'll get another salvo off at you. I'm not quite sure what this will accomplish, but I'm going to give it a shot. You're curling around towards me, which is pretty interesting, but I got to stay at high speed because I don't know if you've got an R-type plasma torpedo. So that triggered your Wild Weasel response. Is it going to trigger? It does. Okay, so we've got a Wild Weasel triggered on both of them. So that'll free up 2 salvos for me to just engage with right away. And hopefully we'll get a decent amount of damage on the CSF. And there goes a scatter pack, rippling off all of its shots. I don't think you have a D-type plasma torpedo. I didn't see anything like that. You do, however, have quite the secondary armament. So hopefully we'll be able to keep them a bit spread out. A couple of missiles lost due to link limits, but we are getting through. 40 damage on through the shield, plus another full salvo heading his way. That should be enough to penetrate. Come on, don't be too close to each other. Okay, we're getting a lot of good hits on through. We'll follow up with the C-Rack, even though we probably need salvo density just a little bit. I want to prep another scatter pack, but I don't dare. I don't have enough missiles for fighting this out completely. And it looks like the heavy war destroyer, the Berlin, is going to have a really bad day. A couple of long-range phaser shots just to kind of keep him honest, to see what these missiles are going to do. Because I don't think... he does have enough, so we're going to dump another 6 on top of him. Although this, I think we've got him. I think he's done here, so we're going to pay attention to somebody else. Unfortunately, the Berlin is having a really bad day. I think we'll come in and try and pick off the pseudo frigate. Oh, no, never mind, the Berlin has him. So the first of the enemy ships is destroyed. Unfortunately, that leaves 2 more that are not dented at all, which is a bit of a problem. I'm actually going to come soaring in way closer than I probably should. So, hi, I'm here. All up in select. Fire in that opening. So we had a very brief window of opportunity to fire at his forward shield. And can I get back up? Come on, I've got 4 more missiles about to come online. There we go. And that prompted the Wild Weasel. So he's used up his. That means the footfall is somewhat vulnerable. Oh no. Stop taking hits, Napoleon. You need to stop being foolish. Although what I could do, because he's currently being tractored, is I could fire all my missiles into him and not have to worry about accuracy. Because he will be unable to defend himself. So he's charging up all of his phasers still, so we will try and get in here relatively close. Let's start slowing down. And I need phasers. Oh, my phaser capacitor just has not been charging with the way that we've been using the engines. Dump a whole bunch of missiles in there. And get shots on through the back, which is excellent. And I'm actually going to come in here and we're going to activate our engine doubling. So engine doubling gives us 68 power now. Unfortunately, we're now starting to damage our ship every single tick, which is not tremendous. But if we can keep up enough firepower, then we can get a lot of work done. Unfortunately, he's about to have plasma torpedoes online. I'm going to pass in nice on top of him, slam him with a whole bunch of phaser fire. Those plasma torpedoes nailed us quite heavily, which was not good. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but I had to give it a shot. So if we're going to kill this guy, we got to kill him quick and deal with the battlecruiser shortly after. We're making use of maximum electronic countermeasures, so we do have a defense ship 2, which is excellent, which will make it very difficult for them to hit. Unfortunately, he had another Wild Weasel shuttle. That's going to be really bad, because we are running very low on ammunition at this point. Yeah, I'm out of C-Racks at this point, so we're down to basically our energy armament, which is not very significant anymore. I do have a couple of good phaser shots that I should be able to get in. We're going to try and patch this phaser 1 real quick. And a whole bunch of more shots on right on his front. He's already pretty badly damaged. And managed to get in there with a couple of phaser 3s. The missiles should follow up unless he pulls in tight, which it doesn't look like he is. I think we've got him. Oh, no, he had a little bit of a cascade failure going on there. He tried to grab 2, had it, and then lost the 1. So we're actually doing pretty good on taking him. Unfortunately, we're getting hits on through. Hull armor is no longer much in play anymore for us, so any hit that he deals to us is probably penetrating, and I can't be that close to you. Phasers. No plasma follow-up. I'm kind of surprised by that. We've lost a C-Rack, but that's fine. The C-Rack isn't working anyway. We're going to just keep it full speed to try and get away from this. I'm about to have 4 more missiles. Unfortunately, if I fire them from this angle, they will never get through, because his buddy is screening him quite well. So it doesn't really matter the fact that this guy is pretty much done for if I can't get past the screen, which is going to be very difficult. We're down to 35 power, which is a bit of a problem, because our engines are currently doubled. So 36 power currently means we have 16? Yeah, which is not great. Hopefully that won't hit us and pass on through. And I don't need the shuttle bay, frankly. I'm not using it. But we are in a good position to follow up our missile assault here. And we'll be ready for phasers shortly. Please stop hitting through my sides. We're down to a power of 29. If we want to actually win this, we're going to have to take him out of the fight right now and get this engine doubling problem under control. Dump another mine behind us, discourage pursuit, and that's going to suck. Take it on the forward shield. It's the only thing we could do. You had another one? Damn. Alright. Green alert. Pick up the speed. Maximum power. I did not say stop the engine doubling. Oh, no. We're done. Unfortunately, we got a little bit close to the enemy, and we are not in a position to do anything. Unfortunately, we were outnumbered, and one of the big, most important things when it comes to fighting plasma-armed ships is whoever has the numbers wins. And unfortunately, we did not have plasma, nor did we have the numbers. Probably there was a solution in there had we not had to sucker so many of these wild weasels. They did deal a lot of problems to us because the amount of damage that they suckered in was pretty significant. So in the future, we're going to have to make sure that we come in and tractor beam CCFs. They are carrying a lot of shuttles, of which they can convert quite a few of them into wild weasels. So that was rather unfortunate. However, this will allow us to get into a different ship, and we really do need to get into a new style of ship. The missile-heavy armament is starting to fall out of favor in the late era, as so many ships start becoming equipped with anti-missile defense systems, and they start realizing just how to deal with a missile threat. So I think we'll try and move something into more of a direct energy weapon. I'm not quite sure what the Orions use for that. Could be plasma, but photon torpedoes would also be an option. I'd rather lean towards plasma if at all possible, just because of the amount of firepower that it brings to the table. So popping back to a friendly port, and according to the shipyard, we're in the Iron Wolf. Pathogen, welcome to the channel. Sucks I put a rough time dropping on the stream. Just a little bit. We're experimenting with a couple of things. So we're in a brand new BRH, which I'm not quite sure where that is gonna fall on the table of useful ships or not. Let's quickly zip on through here, see if we can't find a BRH somewhere in the heavy cruiser. It might not be a heavy cruiser. Huh. Was that a light cruiser? Let's check. No, it does say new heavy. Huh. So freighter, light cruiser, heavy cruiser. The last ship looked pretty good for a pirate. Yeah, it's not terrible. The BC series is pretty good. Oh, there it was. BRH. We were BRH 1, I think. 3 photons and 3 missiles. 6 missiles is the BRH 2. And the BRH 3 has plasma. We are a BRH 1. So we have 3 photon torpedoes, 3 missile launchers. I'm not really a fan of that armament. I think that it's too weak. I think we just jump right back into a BCH 2. Let's buy that real quick. Hi, the BRH, we're going to trade in the Iron Wolf for the Iron Wolf. So that works out pretty good. So this is basically the exact same ship we had, except a little bit more power and a little bit more whatchamacallit. Trying to remember. Shielding. So that'll be able to defend us a little bit better. So it's mostly a focus on the forward shields instead of any of the other shields, and that'll allow us to hopefully take a little bit more damage as we try and crush through the enemy. Pick up a decent number of spare parts, go full Marines. I didn't actually check to see how many transporters we had. That could possibly be important. We may as well kit this thing out maximum. Alright, lock that down, and we'll pop off here and try and keep taking this tile, because I would like to take it away from Prime Industries. We've got the full surround going. We may as well try and get the actual victory going on top of this. So, also a quick check, just real quick. See if there's a dreadnought we can no longer afford. Nope. Alright. So, quarters. I don't like quarters. So, it's a simple scan mission. There will be 2 planets, one of which can shoot back at us, and there will be a random enemy sitting in a corner. So, red alert and increase speed. Let's see how fast this ship goes. It is a slightly larger vessel, being a heavy battlecruiser rather than just a normal battlecruiser. So, it still takes a single point of power to increase speed by 1. So, we will actually be able to get quite the speed advantage going on here. So, basically, we just picked up 2 points of power. So, useful all around. And in addition to that, we are packing a lot of phasers. The list is 6 missiles, 6 phaser 1s, 4 phaser 3s. So we'll just lock all of those. That looks to be more than one. Oh, they're no longer connected on a single mount. Oh, that's cool. So we'll go 1 for the phaser mounts, and then set the missile mounts on a 2. Even though the C-Rex can fire extra quick, it's not that big of a deal. But we'll go ahead and set C-Rex on 3. And G-Rex on 4, and that'll allow us to be all set up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have all the options in the world that we could ever possibly want. So we'll do quite the speed. Yeah, we can definitely handle our medium speed missiles at this and have a little bit extra. So we have to go to each planet, scan it, figure out what's going on, and then leave. There should be an enemy somewhere off in the corner behind this planet, and if we engage him and destroy him, then we can get some cool stuff. So cruising along at full power, let's go over here and prepare the deep scan. We don't have quite enough power actually to charge the deep scan, which is a bit sad. We'll have to reduce our speed just a little bit. But we are sitting at full phaser capacitor and missiles fully loaded. So if anybody does get in our way, we can cause quite a bit of damage. Take the opportunity actually at this point to go like that. So prep ourselves a Wild Weasel shuttle and a scatter pack just in case. The AI, I think, is a bit busted on this mission because he sits in the corner and does not move. I'm not sure why that is, but that is definitely the way this works. PL7, interesting. So neither planet is actually armed. They're PL7 and PL9. Neither of which has any weapons on board. Or if they do, they're short-ranged weapons. That's the key. If you get a PLPH, they are armed with phaser 4s and heavy weapons of every description. They're absolutely terrifying to fight, although you have to crunch to quite a few of them if you want to do a planetary assault. Nothing is of interest on this planet. Okay, shut off the deep scan. We'll move on to the next planet and pick up the speed. We don't accelerate very quickly, unfortunately. We're a heavy battle cruiser, I understand, but still, it would be nice to get a little bit more speed going on in this ship. So cruise on through to the epileptic seizure, and we will scan it and leave. It's a Gorn Dreadnought. Luckily, the Gorn Dreadnought will not bother us, unless we bother it. Which we are going to do, but still, we don't have to if we don't want to. So we'll drift on into range. A little bit more. And start the scan. Get ready to turn away because I don't want to be involved with this planet. And I'll prep another scatter pack. Prep another Wild Weasel. Alright, we're picking up intense energy readings from the planet's core, and now the Gorn's starting to pick up the speed. He's finally decided he's going to get involved in this. So let's shut off the deep scan so we have the free power. Come in here for a maximum electronic countermeasures, give us a decent amount of forward shield, reinforce all of that, and missiles. So we'll start out with a nice little missile bombardment. Start playing around with the corners. That way we can duck over off the side of the map at any point that we want to. And if you want to fire your plasma torpedoes, I'm not going to be against that. Oh, you have quite a bit of defense. And hopefully that will go in at just the right time. So down the speed of time. You can intercept quite a few of these. That's not good. Every single one. Holy crap. So salvo saturation is going to be the name of the game here. I'm not sure we've got quite enough to get through, but I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, every single one of them. Jeez. Keep firing. Just full salvos. Get them out there. I'm not sure I have enough firepower to overwhelm him. This was kind of the problem we were talking about a little while ago with just the missile armament is kind of falling out of favor. We are really, really, really close to this planet. There we go. Okay. So we're alive. I was kind of worried about hitting the planet there. Hi. Can I fire missiles at you? How about if I asked really nicely? That'd be way too much fun. But no, apparently you can't. Oh, did your forward shield? I did get through. Okay. Get ready for a full salvo. We're going to wait for the G-Rex to be ready. Because we need, of course, to have as much firing as we can. And I'm also going to fire a couple of missile shots in. Because if I can get anything through, then that keeps his shield down. So he won't be able to recover that forward shield until after he has some time where I don't get to shoot through it. Let's see if we can just keep playing along with him. We did manage to avoid his first salvo, which was very helpful. Dumped a scatter pack right there. And he's crash stopping again. See, that's the problem we were having earlier, is the fact that they just were able to crash stop at all times. And that allowed them to completely use their Wild Whistles at all time, which allowed them to avoid a ton of damage. I'm going to get probably a little bit too close to him here as I prepare to follow up with another salvo. If I can time it right, I can get a lot on target. He wasn't able to shoot down all of it. So there is that going for... Well, no, he was able to shoot down all of it. So I don't think I've got enough firepower to get through. I've used both of my scatter packs, so we're down to normal salvos, and I don't think that's sufficient to penetrate his shields. I mean, I can keep going. We'll see how much the C-Rack can get done. But I don't think we have the saturation required. He is, after all, a dreadnought. He's a heavy dreadnought, so he's not some little punk light dreadnought. Let's pull out of here. We've accomplished our mission, and we've dented him a little bit, so let's pull out. Get our ship nice and safe so that we don't lose anything. We'll gain a little bit of prestige, and all will be right with the world. So, maximum warp, and we are gone. Mission complete. Heavy battlecruiser of most other factions could probably have taken that, but pirates, they're just not quite as well armed. They don't have the firepower to deal with it. But yeah, we need to transition out of this ship. We do have the tile neutral. Excellent. So Prime Industries no longer controls it. Quick check through the shipyard. I'm looking for X-Series cruisers because we're almost at that age. BCH, CVR, OFT. Need MIRVs? Yeah, desperately. Unfortunately, I don't think the Orions are going to get MIRVs. It's just not something that's on the table at the moment, which is kind of sad. Take a mission. We'll take a fleet action. Maybe we'll be luckier this time than last time. Oh, I forgot to restock shuttles. Whoops. Ah, well, we'll survive. Red alert and rock and roll. We have a Federation Light Dreadnought, the MacArthur, on our side. It is still a standard Dreadnought, so not amazing. The Light Dreadnought that comes with a with Phaser X's is absolutely destructive. Unfortunately, this one is still old school, and we can see that complete with all the original series style looking nacelles, the big huge dishes, and this one has a little bit of a pointy forward head. That's how you can tell light dreadnoughts and fast cruisers, is if they've got a pointy saucer section instead of a round one. It's quite the cool ship though, despite being a light dreadnought. I wish I had one. Compared to what we've got, he's very powerful. I mean, he's still packing 3 missile launchers plus an additional 5 photon torpedoes, backing that up with no less than 10 phaser 1s, which will turn into 10 phaser X's with the X upgrade. Mav had to go play some D&D, so I'm watching from his computer. Hi, Josh. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream through Maverin. We're still continuing our pirate campaign and doing a pretty decent job. And unfortunately, we did lose our last ship, although we did have enough cash to immediately replace it with a slightly better ship, which is quite useful. So we do have a heavy cruiser off in the distance. Hopefully that's the only one. Nope, we got a DNF. Okay, so we're going to have to get in here and help out the MacArthur right as quick as we can, because we're going to need him to... Oh, crap. Yep, they've got another heavy cruiser. Fleet action says it's a heavy battle cruiser. That's not fair, game. That is what we call not fair at all. I'm going to fire the C-Rax, actually. See if I can just get him to panic. That's the name of the game here. Make him panic. And actually, I can get in here nice and close. Phasers right into the bow. And missiles fall up. This close, I think I can get him in. And yes! That's what I was hoping for. A nice, close, tight-range dogfight with him. And that suckers in the Wild Weasel. These slow missiles will now finally get into range. And they will hit him quite well. He's not going to be able to avoid that. So we are kicking on full power into our electronic countermeasures at this point. And we do have our Wild Weasel shuttle just in case. Not able to quite take him down. We're going to need full salvo saturation to get through that. We're about to come in with a nice little phaser run, but that DNF is really close. So I'm going to make this turn hard as I can and pull... That's fake. That was not a fake. I don't know how you still had that. There we go. We've got him down. Next target. Hi. I am astonishingly close to you and you are not firing at me. Mines. Full power, full power. A little bit of supporting fire coming from our Dreadnought friend. He managed to hit one. Excellent. We need to get some speed, we need to get some distance, and we need to not be here. We are in a very bad place. I do not have sufficient firepower to get a whole bunch done at this point. I really need him, the MacArthur, to open our opponents up for us. MacArthur starts stopping to avoid all incoming fire. And unfortunately I don't want to do this. I'm going to have to. Because these are all going to get wasted. He's just going to avoid it entirely. And if his buddy here gets close enough... Oh god, that's terrifying. Yeah, his buddy got in close enough. And I'm going to circle around, dump a whole bunch. Don't do that. Not right there. Just don't. Not close to him, because this salvo's got to do work. If it doesn't, then we're done. So he's managed to shoot down most of it. He's caused quite a bit of damage to the MacArthur. I did get a couple of missiles through. Let's go for a full saturation barrage once again. That's really all we've got. So 6 missiles. The travel time on this is pretty far, actually. It may be worth upgrading to 2 fast missiles on this, because we're not making use of salvo stacking at this point, so we're really reducing flight time is huge. Get those missiles away, get ready to follow up with a phaser barrage, and hopefully I can shock some systems within range. And I didn't shock anything, apparently. He grabs onto most of them, protect him from some. I think we just took a plasma torpedo hit, but I'm not really sure. Done quite a bit of damage to that port side of his. And repair? Yeah, we're having some problems. Another full salvo barrage from the other side. I think you should have a Wild Weasel ready, though. Yeah, he did. I knew that was going to happen. Wanted to come up with a tractor beam grab, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. And he's dragging out how much. I've got to get along to that other side. I can't waste missiles on this. I have to be on his other side. Unfortunately, he's about to have a full salvo of plasma torpedoes ready to go. So I can't get too close to him. No repairs currently available. The MacArthur is about to die. There's no denying that. Come on, get around to his bow. Are you making a port-hand turn? He was, but then he stops. MacArthur, you're dead. You are just so dead. Gotta come in relatively close for another phaser pass, but that's MacArthur right there. Yep. Can't get too close. Gotta play the edge here. Shot down a couple, took a few more. Good hits on through. And we are on our way out. Moving away, we will avoid this missile, or this plasma torpedo entirely. They're fired from well beyond their effective range at our speed of this. I need the engine. Let's kick on the doubling. Give me full power to all systems. And that's the advantage of engine doubling. You just have all the power in the world, so we're about to go up to a maximum of defense shift. We're about to have all of our engine power that we could ever want, and I'd like to get some shield reinforcement going on, because apparently I haven't been doing that. We'll set a reinforce all, but I'll probably concentrate that on a forward shield at some point. Starting to take damage from our own systems, to be expected. We need to get around to his port side, so I'm going to try and cut through this battlecruiser a little bit, which is really dangerous, but I don't have a whole heck of a lot of options, frankly. So hi, just let me slip past your... Stop being close to me. And that's what I was worried about. I figured you were going to fire a plasma torpedo in that direction. I cannot fire on his starboard side. I do not have the missiles left in order to handle that kind of engagement. I have to get around to port. So I'm going to cut this turn pretty hard. Okay, shield reinforcement took it on all sides. That's the R. I can't play games with that. I don't know if I'm going to get slow enough for it. Are you kidding me? We're in trouble. Repair the warp drive, full power. I need that back as soon as you got it. And he's showing me his starboard side, the cheeky git. We need to pull around to his port side. I've got to cross right through. At least that R is no longer online. Alright, we're no longer under the effects of decoy shuttle. He's about to have a good shot on me. And I do not have a whole heck of a lot of speed. Here comes the plasma torpedoes. Multiple plasma torpedoes. Switch the reinforcement to stern only. Reinforce. First one. There's no more stern shield. Fire everything he got. And he did well weasel through. Dump a mine, and we're gone. We're going to try anyway. It's going to be a very tight escape. So we may have tried to play this game a little bit too much. I'd love to get on out of here, but I'm not sure that's going to happen at all. We've got to get up to speed, and we've got to get these repairs going pretty well. We did cause a lot of damage to him. Look at that. He's lost pretty much all of his aft systems at this point. I'm stunned that he hasn't taken more drive damage than he has. So, we did good. I mean, I know we're retreating from this battle, but this dreadnought is going to be in hard dock for months. He's not getting out anytime soon. We did okay. Losing the MacArthur kind of sucked, but to be fair, the AI commander of the MacArthur is an idiot. So there's not much we can do about that. And let's shut off this entirely. Just give me full power to engines. Gives me 4 additional points of speed. And another mine. We're pulling away slowly but surely. You, on the other hand, are catching us quite rapidly. We are heading towards a corner, so we may make it off in time. This will be an interesting close run. So as long as we keep the repairs going, we may actually make it out of here. Missiles. Let's activate you, and you. Normal. Fire. Why are you not firing? I don't need to be at red alert to fire these missiles. At least I shouldn't have to be at red alert to fire these missiles. They're loaded, and I can turn them on because they don't ever turn off. I'm going to see if I can't prompt that to go into a crash stop. I did. Excellent. Okay, so we will survive this. We will, of course, get away now. I have high confidence that that will be achieved. We're going to have a large repair bill for this one, but we're going to successfully escape. So we've managed to destroy one of their heavy cruisers, cripple one of their dreadnoughts, and we didn't do a whole heck of a lot of the BCH, let's be fair. But still, did a good job. And the dreadnoughts only turned along at a speed of 18, so we did a pretty good job of damaging them quite nicely. Almost off the map as of now. Let's turn a little bit. So that we're heading a little bit closer off. And yeah, we're going to escape. Nice and safe. We came and fought and then ran away. And thus we get to fight another day. Although these, the missiles are becoming a little bit, well, they are a little bit unreliable at this point. A lot of big guns staring you down. Yup. That many plasma torpedoes. I'm surprised we took as many as we did and didn't die.
Warping out.
Shut off the engine doubling. We are gone. Mission complete all you want. We did fine. I'm quite happy with how that one turned out. Managed to successfully get away without dying. That's always the most important part. So, no prestige gained, but hey, we're alive. Oh, look at all that damage. 349 points to repair. And let's restock our missiles to the maximum. This planet is so close to being taken, I would like to have it. But we have to get a successful mission down on it. We ended up spending 10 repair parts. Only 4 mines, though, so we should probably step up our mine usage a little bit. Okay, bounce off. Bounce back. Missions. The salvage mission won't get us anything because it's just there's random spare parts strewn around. Go pick them up. Diplomatic delivery, on the other hand, we can accomplish even if we don't want to kill whoever we're fighting. It is a heavy cruiser at this point. According to this, it's a CMFF. I have no idea what that means, although the M tells me it's a medium cruiser. Although, I don't know how that compares. We have no friends aside from the planet, which is mostly unarmed at this point. So let's kick up the speed and hopefully cause quite a bit of damage to this guy. I'd like to destroy him. The extra prestige is always nice to have. So kick up the speed even more. There we go. That's as fast as we're going to go. And we'll start dumping missiles. And again, I probably should remember to start switching over to fast missiles. Normally I try and keep them on medium missiles because medium missiles are really affordable. And they, well, you can stack up a whole bunch of salvos. Although, since we're playing as Orions and not the Merak, that's really not all that important to us. It just comes down to a problem of we don't have the drone links to control that many missiles, so we may as well get the most speed out of them. I think that'll work out. Although it will be expensive. Alright, we're starting to close with each other, and I should be able to fire at a range of about, well, now actually, if we put in the closure rates, we're looking at an 120 meter range at this, so pop the first salvo, and we'll start pulling away. Scatter pack is about to be ready, so we're set up on shuttles. Is that a probe? Oh yeah, we're pirates, we don't get probes. I keep forgetting that. Something that I should remember, but no. And we'll start pulling around to the side. We're going to stretch the salvo out just a bit. That way, when we fire our second salvo for maximum saturation, it'll be separate enough from our incoming salvo right now so that it'll ignore the wild weasel. That's my plan, anyway. It tends to work out. Although this time, I'm not 100% sure. Another big salvo coming in his way. We can fire 2 more missiles, but we're not going to bother. Which is why the fast missiles is something we should probably get into. And because he's traveling at a speed of 31 at this point, so we've got to draw him into these missiles now. Yeah, we're going to loop back around and start coming in on him as fast as we can. We're speeding... 26 is pretty good. Go over here, maximum electronic countermeasures. And there goes his Wild Weasel shuttle. And we're going to accelerate at maximum speed here. Are my missiles not ready? Apparently not. Get ready to fire them, though. So maximum ECM, forward shield to full power. Reinforce. And stand by for a scatter pack. We'll pull off to try and hit this guy. That was an interesting plan. Don't pop until we kill him. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of damage to the back here, but this shield does not hold. Interesting. I thought the shield was guaranteed to hold from that, but apparently not. I got the first to him. So a small misjudgment on my part, but I think we got the heavy cruiser. Yeah, that did a pretty good amount of damage to him, I'm sure. We'll fire those, and we'll get a whole nother salvo off on him. He can't have much left. 66 damage plus another 30. A couple of penetrating shots. He does have plasma torpedoes, so that is dangerous. Gorn pseudo-frigates, like Romulan pseudo-frigates, are more or less terrifying. So we do have to avoid some of that. Hi, I'm right on your tail, and I have, well, not full sets of missiles, but some missiles. So get ready for a nice big follow-up. And unfortunately, he deployed a Wild Weasel. You jerk. Alright, I'll pass on through for you. Turning hard in. And then phasers, wait for this to drop. All up into this. Apparently we don't have many phasers at all. I keep seeing all of these phasers on the icon, and I make the mistake of thinking they're actually useful. So I picked up 2. And that'll take out the enemy. Not as easy as we would have liked, but a successful mission nonetheless. You're now set to green alert and move to deploy this diplomat down. So full power there, and get ready to beam people over. And cruising. Nice peaceful atmosphere where you don't have to worry about getting blasted by a million plasma torpedoes. Although this appears to be a very uninhabited planet, so I'm not quite sure who we're going to be talking to down here. Slow down a bit so we don't smash into the planet. Our ship, of course, not designed for landings. Really no ship in this game is, but hey. We'll get down to speed just real quick, pay attention, and turn away. Alright, there we go. Oh, I didn't check my email for an hour and missed half your stream. But you're like 5 minutes short, so halfway through. Yep, welcome to the stream, Sean. Always nice to have you around. And, yeah. Yep, another diplomat to an uninhabited gas giant. So, he must have pissed off somebody. 280 prestige, of course, is our reward. And we finally took the tile from Prime Industries. Finally. Jeez. So, now that we can control that, I don't know if that's going to give us anything. It would be nice, but let's check it out. Anything cool in the list of ships that are now spawned? No. Not a darn thing. We're at 2282. I'm not quite sure when the X-type ships are going to start showing up. They're not 2300, are they? Let's stop down to light cruiser. The war destroyers are not. The special X destroyer's not here yet. Yeah, we have nothing good there. We do have a whole bunch of dreadnoughts. The problem is none of them are showing up. I would like to fly a dreadnought. Unfortunately, they're not allowing me to at the moment. I mean, we used to have the prestige for a dreadnought. Now no longer. Now we can no longer afford to buy dreadnoughts. We had to buy a heavy cruiser. Right, if we bump the drive system up, we'd be spending 81. Yeah, but that's because we use spare parts. That's good. If we're successful in missions, we shouldn't need anything else. Alright, let's keep plowing away at Prime Industries, making sure they understand who is boss. And a convoy mission is the perfect way to do that. So let's get ready to rumble and red alert, increase speed. Hey, we're being escorted by a galactic survey cruiser. Fascinating. It is the USS Berlin. Once again, we have returned with another Berlin. And of course, being a galactic survey cruiser, he has 2 photon torpedoes and 3 missile launchers. And all the silly little dishes all around, which is pretty funny. If you look at one of the original galactic survey cruisers, the normal GSCs from the early era, they have the original series style nacelles and everything, and these are original series style copper looking dishes all around. Let's check out to see who our enemy is. We have a freighter, a freighter, a freighter, a freighter, a freighter, a freighter, and a dreadnought. Because why not? And well, also we have the Flamma Acceptor with us. Oh, we have a heavy Condor. Because why not? Jeez. Game, this is not fair. Okay, so we need to start focusing on killing freighters, and we might be able to take on the dreadnought. Maybe. It's a possibility. I'm going to kick on the speed to maximum. Let's see what we can get involved with. Not convinced that he's invulnerable. It really depends on what kind of anti-missile defense system he's running. I think he's got a Plasma D, if I remember correctly. So that could be a little bit difficult to work with. But we do have our own plasma torpedo units. If we focused all firepower, we could probably mob him. Like, the Galactic Survey Cruiser is in essence a light cruiser at this point. It does not have the firepower capabilities of a heavy cruiser. It just isn't on that level. But it's still a decent ship. And the Flamma Acceptor is a pretty terrible ship. But if the AI has half a brain, and I know that's kind of a contradiction in terms, then it should be able to get quite a bit of damage done. Freighter, 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 dreadnought, dread. Isn't that an old Flash meme? Alright, the Badger mushrooms. Yeah, we're not going to be able to... Well, we might be able to take them. I think we might be able to take them. I'm going to give it a shot. Alright, you have 2 D-type plasma torpedoes. Remember how I said we were going to give it a shot? I meant we were going to focus on killing freighters. Because that's safe. You're getting that. You're getting that. You're getting that. You're getting that. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to give it a shot. You're getting that. Oh god, is that the Flamma Acceptor? Yeah, I think that's the Flamma Acceptor right over there. That didn't last long. What would you take the place of Snake in that meet? I have no idea. I've never actually watched the Badger thing. Okay, so you've used up all your plasma torpedoes already, I think. I might be able to get something done. I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh god. No, no, I don't think I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to pull off in this direction, drop a mine. Oh, how clever of you. He's coming to protect his freighters. That was... Yeah, that's not a bad plan. How fast are you going? 24! Jeez! Eat it. Crash stop all you want. I think it'll get you in time. No, you can hold on to all of them. Oh, God. And he cloaks. Did I mention he cloaks? Yeah, he does. It's going to be a problem. Let's keep on coming in here. I hope you crash stop. That's kind of why I fired the single missile. You might not, though. Cargo ship, starship. Are you just... He's just gonna... Nope, he tracker beamed it. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, I'm knocking down your defenses. C-Rex. I knew you'd do that when I fired more missiles. Unfortunately for you, I did not fire my G-Rex, and so that will be what will destroy you. 3, 2, 1. And you, hi you. You're a PTER. You're going to defend yourself from missiles without any trouble at all. Which direction do these things fire? Slow down. You destroyed one of the Romulan freighters. Excellent. And we're going to burst all those missiles in his face because I think I can get past his anti-missile defense system. It didn't work out quite as well as I'd hoped. But it does look like the Galactic Survey Cruiser, the Berlin, is fully committed to fighting that dreadnought, which is excellent. Oh yeah, I forgot you had a wild weasel. Hi, FLRG. So we've got 2 armored freighters and a whole bunch of other not armored freighters. Yeah, that's a total waste, but I need them to die. Like, I'd like to not have to do things like that, but we are out of ammunition. Holy crap, I forgot to reload. So that was the last of our missiles. So that's not very good. Okay. If you manage to defend yourself against all of that... He did. He survived all of that. Holy crap. Hi. Not quite enough damage to kill you. Still not enough damage to kill you. Just enough damage to hurt you. Okay, we may end up having to do a marine run through this. I didn't want it... Are you making me drag you along? Lay off. I'm not here for you. Okay, technically I am. That's not me, is it? No, it's not. It's him. Slow down a bit. Thank you for letting me go. Jeez. And come on, phasers. At some point, could you refresh and reload so I can start sending Marines over? There we go. I will own that ship shortly. This ship has a lot of Marines on board. This ship, not as many. Mine in front of everybody. Hi, make that turn. Are you doing okay back there, Berlin? I really hope so. Kinda need you to not die. It's a little bit important. And also, if my weapons could recycle just a little bit faster, that'd be really nice. Because I have all the phaser firepower in the world, I just can't employ it.
High energy turn.
I'd like to get the bow on so I can do a decent amount of damage to... Wow, that is MXMXC11X. I'm not even sure what that would be in Roman numerals, but that is a fairly ridiculous number. Yeah, he's down to 3, but that's not low enough. I need him dead. I need him completely dead. I think the Berlin is no longer there. Wait, where's the Dreadnought? Did the Dreadnought crash into an asteroid? I think the Dreadnought's dead. I don't know how it happened, but it doesn't look like it's there. So that's interesting. What did the Berlin do to it? I wish I could go back and figure it out because, well, the Berlin is dead somewhere. Oh no, there it is. He was just hiding. He was outside of our range of 100. We don't have a whole heck of a lot of time. So we've got 3 more freighters to destroy with our energy-only armament. And Marines, which I will hopefully be able to pull off. I'm ignoring you from now on. It's turn. Oh, stop being petty. I will come back and destroy your ship later. You also need to be killed, and you are actually towards him. So I'm actually going to turn and try and take you on really quickly, because, well, being anywhere near that King Condor is probably a recipe for disaster. How many Marines does he have? 19. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So we're going to pull in here, hopefully knock out this PT-2 before he can do anything to us. And, yeah, pull on through to go after the armored personnel transport. What's the speed you're doing? 23. So he did deal... The Berlin did a pretty decent job of damage. Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm beaming people over because I'm not staying around. I'm gonna beam people onto this APT, and then we're just gonna book it on out of here. Because I think, well, maybe not actually. That could be kind of close. Not sure how that's gonna work out in terms of Marines taking over versus, you know, the map edge. Because we're getting pretty close. Save it a bit. How close? Well, we're not quite that close. Hopefully this will be enough to destroy the APT and we won't have to worry about such things. But you never know. Pull in nice and behind him. Focus the damage onto one shield. This is going to mean 10 damage to us, which kind of sucks, but we'll survive and have one. Okay, we got him. Stern shields are down at this point, which is not good because we're about to make a run for it. Marines, how are you doing? You're taking your good old sweet time. How about over here? Obviously not him. Also taking your good old sweet time, but at least your ship is slower. So we're going to focus on this here, the FLRG. We're in long range for his phaser fire, but still not in range for his plasma torpedoes. So unfortunately, we are not going to have our phasers ready in time. I'm going to drop this mine right here, because you're going to have to hit it. And I think we got hit by our own mine. Oh, we killed him. Excellent. Marines have almost got that one. Full power. Let's go. We're gone. And... we don't need any fixes on the engine. We just need to fix the anti-missile defense system and a missile launcher, which is empty. So, Marines, how much longer? Please hurry up so that we can actually... Excellent. Okay, so we are done here. Let's head right off this map. I am not fighting a heavy Condor. We're not designed to fight that sort of thing, so we're not going to bother. Just going to head right for the edge of the map. And he is catching us, almost looks like. And let's just get on here before he does any more major damage to us. To warp! Nice and safe. The entire convoy was wiped out, but the game keeps throwing dreadnoughts at us, and I'm not sure why. We're a heavy cruiser. Technically a heavy battle cruiser, but our weapon systems are terrible for that, so... yeah. Well, we still made a decent amount of prestige. Nice and safe right there. Neutralize the tile, which is always the plan. We'll pass over here to neutral ports. Hi. Do you got anything cool for us? I don't think so, but you never know. An HRR2, but who cares? 67 is the repair for the engine damage. 1 shuttle was used to blow up a single transport. And that will give us 60 missiles for 124, which is super expensive. And a couple Marines and spare parts, along with a few mines. So we didn't make any money off of this contract, but that's okay. The point was to take the territory. Speaking of which, how much of Prime Industries do we have to take? Oh, we're doing quite a good job of cutting them in half, aren't we? So I think we'll focus on their northern sectors, I guess. Unfortunately, they're going to force us into a surprise reverse door patrol. We'll take the patrol, just because it's a little bit more entertaining. Surprise reverse, they all just sit there and get shot at. And so we'll ready that. We're on alert and increase speed. And I would like a full scatter pack and wild weasel all set up in advance so that we have something to do. And electronic countermeasures to the maximum. Nice and safe here. Forward shield, let's buff that up until something's dangerous. Reinforce that. Nothing on scanners as of yet, but that's okay. And increase the speed time as we cruise on along. Single heavy cruiser off in the distance. A BC, or no, that's us, a CCHF, so it's a heavy command cruiser. Geez, we might have some trouble. First salvo. Get that sucker out there. And first of our shuttles is ready. We'll prep another one of those wild weasels so that we're nice and safe. Wait, stand by. Another salvo. We need to, of course, defend against it, but that's okay. Another salvo. Holy crap. Drop one of those. Set tail on the run. Just to draw them out a bit. The accident missiles are doing good work as long as they don't get too close to a pseudo-frigate so that they can't support them. And again, just stay at range. Don't get anywhere near them. And that's that. Wow. I wasn't expecting that to happen. So we were able to just continue to bombard him, and because we've switched up to fast missiles, he wasn't able to have enough time to deal with them. So on the medium speed missiles, the time between salvos was quite long, especially with this long-range style of engagement, and so he was able to defend himself just by virtue of having his weapons recharge. But in this case, now that we've gone to fast missiles, we've increased the speed of our missiles by 8, which is not terrible. So hopefully we will be able to use that to take a little bit more advantage of our enemies, as they have been starting to make the medium speed missiles a little less useful. Partially because we can't multi-stack salvos, and also partially because the first salvo always gets wasted against the Wild Weasel, which is never fun. Okay, increase the speed of time as we cruise on along, heading cautiously into an asteroid field. And there's a heavy cruiser. It's another one of the Gorn. It's another BCH. Okay. Let's prep one of these and one of these, just in case. We are within range, so let's engage with our first salvo of missiles and immediately begin our turn. And let's try not to hit the asteroids. That would be helpful. So missiles heading in. Second salvo of missiles. And there's his crash stop. Get ready with the third salvo of missiles. And stay distance. Try to get some damage through. Launch those at him as we draw out his plasma torpedoes. Spreading out the damage, which is smart of him. But unfortunately, that's not going to rescue him. He is just in a bad situation at this point. I can get multiple salvos from multiple angles coming in on him. I'm trying to save the scatter pack. We'll get half our missile load back for free at the start of every single mission. If we're below half loads, we get half loads. But shuttles, once you run out, you're done. So I'm trying to save them just a little bit in case we need them. But we are able to bully Gorn cruisers quite nicely for a little while. Once they start fielding plasma D torpedoes on them, we're going to have a major problem. Just because we won't have sufficient ability to penetrate their firepower. And we'll take a convoy escort. I don't like convoy escort, but we'll take it. The reason why I don't like convoy escort is because too often the game will send multiple angles against you and not enough defenses. And so it winds up with you trying to defend like 6 ships against the one. But in this case, it looks like we're fighting off against a single frigate and a light cruiser. So, oh, nope, there's 3 ships in there. There's also a freighter. Wait, is there a freighter? Is that... What is that? That can't be a single ship. Frigate, light cruiser, freighter. Okay, good. I thought for a second that this was just a massive kid bash. But nope, there is indeed a frigate and a couple of freighters on in there. So let's set up our defensive systems. Now, the main problem here is they are stacked right on top of each other, which makes them very hard to engage. And they are maintaining their speed right on top of each other. Gosh darn it. So I'd like to be able to shove a massive salvo down their throat, but I can't do that. Because unfortunately, they're nice and close together. All of their point defense systems are engaged and ready to defend each other. So I need to go starboard. I want to draw the squadron out. I hope. So let's see if I can't bring them into the open. Let's get a little bit of electronic countermeasure going and ECM. The electronic countermeasure will hopefully keep us protected from the Federation frigate, who either is equipped with plasma torpedoes or photon torpedoes. One of the two. He might be missiles only, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, the escort's crossing in front. I was afraid of that. It's the good move. That's the smart move to do. You protect the flagship, I suppose. Please tell me you're not equipped with an anti-missile defense system. You are. So nothing's gonna get through to that.
Decoy shuttle ready.
I'm not gonna bother with you for a little bit. You are immensely... Oh, you are gonna be incredibly annoying, aren't you? Single missile, nobody really cares about it. Scatter pack, on the other hand. Okay, we got it. All of them select and engage. I have no weapons. The Phantasmal. So we'll start dumping a couple of more missiles, see if we can't overwhelm his defenses. Was that? No, that wasn't you. So he's able to shoot down pretty much all of my things, leaving his frigate to go through unmolested. That's not acceptable. Come on. Take the bait. Now he's going to take it. Now he's going to be able to defend himself perfectly fine from it. Huh. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what is up with this guy. He should have used his shuttles by now, but he's not. He does have a lot of point defense, though. I gotta give him credit for that much. Show me this freighter, or this frigate. Sydney? Huh. That is actually a really interesting frigate. He's equipped with 3 photon torpedoes, which is a hallmark of most of the heavy war destroyers. But he's not a heavy war destroyer. He's lacking one of the nacelles required for that. Dump this on him. See what he does with that. We gotta focus on this frigate. Otherwise he's gonna start destroying my convoy, and I can't have that. Oh god. Don't. Well, it should be a wild weasel. Cruise along at maximum speed right there. Did you stop? Yeah, he stopped. He was not about to have that happen to him. How are we doing on missiles? I anticipated low, and I was right. Alright, get ready for a full follow-up. Not sure if this will work, but we're gonna give it a shot. Hi, I've just dumped a whole bunch of missiles on top of you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stop? I love you. By I love you, I mean I'm gonna kill you in a variety of ways, actually. Missiles. Pop! Pop, pop, pop! Come on! Good. Got him. That might kill him. And I gotta get up to this fighter. So the FT1. This DWC is still not dead? There we go. It's like, how is he still alive? He's not. Spoiler alert, he's dead. I'm gonna get nice and close on top of you. We're both gonna set off this mine. And all missiles. Hi, I've got missiles heading your way. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing? Glad to hear it. Wasted missiles, because we didn't need those missiles anyway. Alright, so I've got one fighter, which I'm gonna focus my anti-missile defense system on. So come on, anti-missile defense system, kill him, please. Thank you. Okay. Last target is our HTW-1. Now, he's a pretty decently equipped ship. He's got 1,010,000 tractor beams, so that causes a bit of a problem. But he also has no forward shield. Missiles to his face. He's gone. Oh, he's activated his expanding sphere generator. I'm going to try and get in the way of that. And I did. Excellent. So that will protect my little friendly buddy. The Phantasmal is now being launched. Oh, gosh darn it. Don't do that. That's going to ruin my missiles. I really hate you right now, Phantasmal. I want to destroy you in so many ways. How many missiles am I dealing with? 3, 3, 3, 0. We're out. Unfortunately, we're out of C-Racks, which is going to require us to rely on our phasers, which we don't have a whole heck of a lot of. So I'm going to have to just get in close to you and hope to hurt you. Okay, got some damage in there. Dump some missiles close on top of you. Got one through. Mine spam is really annoying. Yeah. Welcome to this game. The mine spam is an incredibly effective strategy that they love to use because it's really good. Because it's 10 damage every time they do it, and it's guaranteed. Because you're going to run into it. You're not going to be able to avoid the mines. Look at how many tractor beams he has. Marines. Hit and run. Kill that gosh darn tractor emitter. Like, seriously, how do you have so many tractor beams? He's a tiny little ship compared to me. Well, not tiny, but he's quite small. Marines, go! Yes! That's what we needed. Fusions and ESGs. That's not a terrible combination, though. Because you got the fusions right up front that'll hit them and stun them, and then you get right point blank with the fusion cannons. I mean, it's a very interesting and powerful loadout if used properly. Just gotta use it properly. Anything cool now that we're further into prime space? There's a BC-3, but we're into the BCHs, so a single S-type plasma torpedo plus 2 Cs is pretty mediocre. Most pirate ships are incredibly mediocre. I'll be interested to see what the Orion X-type heavy cruisers come to equip though. I imagine that'll be quite fun to play with. I don't know what it'll have, but we'll find out. We'll put a little more pressure on this tile with the starbase. It's always nice to have starbases under your control. Unfortunately, there's no mission popping up. There we go. Had to scan around a little bit to find something. Yeah, but the pirates also get weapon combos seen nowhere else. They do, but the question becomes, you have a cool weapon combo, yeah, but what are you going to do with it? Oh, we've got an FQL. Interesting. Like, it's interesting to have ESGs and lances, and not lances, but ESGs and fusion cannons. But when you're carrying about 1/3 less the weapons of a ship of equal class, does that even out? And I would argue no. But the pirates make you have to work extra hard to make things operate correctly. And so I'm not against that, but it does mean that you will go up against, say, Dreadnought, and if you were in a similar situation in a standard Empire ship, like if I was in a heavy battlecruiser for the Federation, I could take on a Dreadnought. I know I could. But a heavy battlecruiser for this thing, we find ourselves completely outmatched and outgunned because basically we're packing the heavy weapon complement of a light cruiser. Like, there are Maraclite cruisers that are packing more than 6 missiles, and it's rather painful. So you end up having to deal with a little bit of trouble. I think we should have enough firepower to kill him with this second salvo here. He is, after all, just a Q-ship. Yeah, we lost some missiles, but that's okay. He's going to wild weasel, I assume. Little tiny frigate, we'll take him on. Need to kick up the speed, take care of him, zip around, take care of his buddy. I assume this guy will have more firepower. He should have a single missile launcher, or maybe 2 missile launchers as an FLG. And he does hold on to those. Open fire with the C-Rex. Just overwhelm him. Oh no, he's completely ungunned. He's got phasers only. So I turned to engage the wrong ship, for sure. Okay, we got him down. Next target. Got incoming missiles on him. And he has no friends, right? Yep, so this will be easy. He does have a point defense system, which is doing quite a good job. But we're still getting pretty decent penetrating hits. Fire more missiles, just get them out there. We're out of ammo already? How? Like, I fully stocked up at the starbase. Why are we out of ammo already? Sometimes it gets a little bit interesting. I assume that somebody on board the ship sold off the ammunition in order to buy something. Without telling the captain. After all, this is a pirate vessel, so what can you expect? Twin photon freighter? Well, it's a Q-ship. So Q-ships are deliberately designed as freighters to have heavy weapons and the like, to trick pirates into thinking they are just freighters, and thus being vulnerable when they suddenly reveal that they are not helpless little freighters. It's a good concept. Think back World War II, freighters, U-boats would come around to try and sink them, and most of the time they'd actually pull up to them and say, "Hi, we're here, get off the ship so we can sink it." And if you were a Q-ship, when they drove up to say, "Hi, we're here," they'd shoot you with their hidden cannons. It's the same idea. So, you can't actually fly that ship, though, unfortunately. Like, you can in the campaign, you can find Q-ships to buy, but you can't do it in skirmish, which is a little bit annoying, because I'd like to try out a couple to see what the Q-ship can really do. Because it's an interesting ship. I'm a big fan of Q-ships. I think Q-ships should be, like, stacked to the gills with missile launchers, but that's just because I'm a fan of the Honor Harrington books. So we're going to pull up right behind him. We're out of missiles at this point. The only thing we've got is our scatter pack, which I may use, just because I want to use something. Weakened his shields, but not destroyed them. But wow, that's an effective point defense system. It's still a Type A. Wow. A single A-type was able to defend against all of that. Okay, we can start to slow down. Actually, I'm probably going to grab on him. Engage this. I'm going to drag you away from the fight. I don't want you hurting my little freighters. Thank you. You're coming with me. Do I have a Q-ship? I do. The free trader. I think we're holding on to each other now. Or at least we were for a moment there. Not quite sure what it is he's doing. Aw, he created a repel beam. It's not gonna save you, though. You're gonna die. It's gotta be more than a little amusing. So we'll just keep shelling him. There's not much he can do at this point. Not now that we're actually here. You wouldn't want to use a Q-ship as a raider, though. They're just not fast enough. That fired his photon torpedoes into it. Didn't manage to get him anything, but he tried. He's doing his bestest job. Unfortunately, he's just not very effective. Still going pretty fast. 16 is nothing to scoff at. Let's dump that, just because I want to make sure that it happens. I've got it. I may as well use it. I mean, we could get the missiles back, but we're down to half loads anyway, so fire. If you got a Wild Weasel, now's the time to use it. Otherwise, you're just dead. 1. Yeah. Wow, he's not dead. There we go. It took a combined effort of all the ships, but we managed to make it happen. Teamwork, of course, made this dream work. Although, all in all, we probably should have gone after that freighter first because it was way more dangerous than that little tiny frigate. 340 prestige, not terrible. And a neutral tile. Pop back over here. Goes to supply. Patch up the engine damage that we always take for some reason. And give me more ammunition. As well as an additional shuttle because we spent one. Another convoy escort. Jeez, they're just having us do all the escort duties out here. Make me kill something. I'm tired of helping people. Red alert. We've got an FFB. That could be bad. Forget if the FFB is armed with plasma torpedoes or not. I think it is. And an HDW, which is also a problem. Okay, we're in a bad spot. Do we have a friend who's got a lot of firepower? It doesn't look like it. It's gonna be just us. Lovely. FFB is a battle frigate, or is it BFF that's a battle frigate? I forget, and that's a problem, because I need to know. Because one of them has plasma torpedoes, and the other one does not. So I'm going to gamble a little bit. If you've got the plasma torpedoes, then this was the right choice. If you don't, then this was very much the wrong choice. So we need to pick up more speed. We'll set up our actual defenses this time because, well, that HDW is going to be a nightmare to deal with anyway. But he should be a little bit less straight-up damage. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. And get ready for the second follow-up. We need to be able to fire all the missiles to follow up. That's not quite what I needed to do, but hopefully we will be able to follow up with the other two. There we go. Should be tight enough. Alright, I think I got you handled. What sort of point defense system you got? Nothing. Okay, that works. So we will get ready for the follow-up. We'll do one more full barrage on him, then we'll turn to fight the HDW. May not be needed, though. I really, really don't want to waste ammunition. Okay, so he's not. He is not the plasma torpedo destroyer, which is what I thought he was. So, come on, work. Make this happen. Nope. No, it didn't. It's going to require actual intervention by us. We're looking at 3 photon torpedoes, 1 missile launcher, 4 phaser 1s, and 1 phaser 3. Really OP plasma torpedoes and heavy photons on the same ship. It would certainly be interesting. I don't know about OP, but very interesting. The problem you're going to have there is finding a ship that has enough power to handle that. Because the heavy photon torpedo is an absolute power hog. As is, you know, plasma torpedoes. But the heavy photon torpedo is ridiculous. Actually, let me go check. Where is my Orion Pirates book? Somewhere around here. Oh, under my mouse. Duh. I'm using it as a makeshift mouse pad. So the heavy photon torpedo requires 4 points of energy for 2 turns to charge. And they're held at 2. They are power hogs for what they do. Oh, we're in range. Engage. See if I can't bait this out. So he's basically the same thing except with a slightly cooler hull, although I would like to have... Is that a scatter pack? That was a scatter pack. Shoot down right now. Okay, target him. Target the enemy. And dump that. Fire missiles as soon as we can. The Montgomery. So he lost a scatter pack instead of a Wild Weasel, so he has no defense. Oh crap, but he's probably gonna kill the free trader. No, free trader! Defend yourself! The free trader unfortunately has no phasers left. I've just sent a lot of missiles this guy's way. I'm not gonna add any more to this salvo. I really wish that I could. Well, now I can. But my worry is that he will suddenly and magically deploy a Wild Weasel at point blank. Hi, all weapons, engaged. do you mean? Oh, because I'm targeting the allied ship. Duh. Engage as soon as you hit a range of... We need to actually focus on who we're trying to kill. You just need an X-type cruiser or better in terms of power. Well, you gotta remember, the Federation XCA doesn't have enough power to run with all its torpedoes going. So... But yeah, you can be cost-effective at long range with proximities and close range with plasma crunch. Like, you've already got that if you overload the photon torpedoes. So you wouldn't... It would be kind of redundant. And again, the Federation XCA can't even control all that. Like, it tries. It does not have the power to handle all of that. I'm not going to take another fleet action. Every time we take a fleet action, it sends us up against 3 heavy cruisers of a larger size than us. We're not going fleet action for a bit. Oh, great. It's a sun glider. You couldn't possibly be a more difficult opponent for us to take on. Luckily, it's a small sun glider, but it's still going to have a Gatling torpedo. Or a Gatling phaser. So sun gliders are gigantic, well, things that glide on the sun, I suppose. They have phaser 4s, generally. And a lot of other phaser weaponry. They also are one of the few monsters who actually has shields, which makes them kind of difficult to deal with. So I'm going to have to wait for a full salvo and see if I can actually penetrate with what I've got. They won't have tractor beams, he won't have a wild weasel, he was going to be pretty difficult to knock down. I hate fighting sun gliders. Such a majestic creature. Reinforce the forward shield to a full power if you can. We used a sun glider for a while. Can't remember the name of the ship, but we had a sun glider in our Beast Raiders campaign. And we cherished it as the family pet. It's quite powerful until it was overwhelmed and destroyed, like most of the things in our pirate campaign. The pirate campaign got really ugly. It was just so difficult to handle all the incoming enemies. Because the game says, hey, you're a heavy battle cruiser, surely you can take on this. And it forgets that, no, I'm a pirate heavy battle cruiser. Let's keep that in mind. Scatter pack is ready to rock, and he shot down some, but some got through. Excellent. Oh, and being such a little tiny sun glider, he doesn't have much in the way of shields. His Gatling phaser's already down. Excellent. Got a scatter pack hidden for you, buddy. Plus some phasers here, but I think we've poached it. Alright, everybody, we're eating sun glider tonight. So, nice and easy mission to take out such a majestic creature. We're basically whaling at this point. So let's see how much prestige that's worth. Monsters generally pay out pretty well. 272 is not bad. For the amount of work that we put into it, that's pretty good. And checking in, we're looking for X-type destroyers, honestly. Because I'm fairly certain they don't get X-type heavy cruisers. Are there no frigates anywhere? Oh, there are frigates. Okay, I missed it. Heavy war destroyers, lots of heavy war destroyers, but nope, nothing of interest. All right, let's head out. More assaulting on Prime Industries territory. They really don't seem to have a whole heck of a lot left. We've been blasting through almost everything they have. It's excellent. Sun gliders are cool. The large sun glider is the only ship with a phaser for it. Yep, it's the only controllable ship with a phaser for. There are a couple of other monsters that you can't get, things like the Intergalactic Dreadnought. They have phaser 4s also, but you're not allowed to have them. Oh, it's an asteroid-based defense. I thought it was an assault. Oh, we got a CLD, the Permit, which is a... Yeah, see, the Permit is a light cruiser. Like, he's a destroyer. Well, he's a light cruiser, like the full-on light cruiser design. And he's got the exact same missile armament we do, except he has the B-type, which is the extended magazine, which is, well, he can shoot for longer than we can. Although our C-type can shoot twice as fast as he can. And our Gs also give us an anti-missile defense system for free. So you win some, you lose some. Engage. So we'll fire our missiles from pretty decent maximum-ish range. Kick up the speed to full power, and that'll give us some time to go maximum forward shield and electronic countermeasures. And this, I assume, will probably cause him to Wild Weasel, and then we'll follow up right away. But yeah, one of the reasons why we ended up doing the Beast Raiders for our pirate campaign in Season 9 is because we wanted to have the ability to play monsters, because it was funny. Really, that entire campaign was... The Intergalactic Dreadnought, is that Andromeda? No, it's a ancient race that made an automated dreadnought that was just going through the galaxy, destroying anything that came through it. Finished my translations, going to play some Starfleet Commander on Pirates. Please out. Bye, Aurora. I didn't see you say hi, but hi. Well, I was happy that you were along with us for the stream. And enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. So we'll cruise on in here and wait for it, and there goes his stop. And he, of course, is a pseudo-frigate tender, which is never fun. But we should be able to follow up pretty well here.
Decoy shuttle ready.
I don't think I've ever seen that. We fought it in a couple of streams ago, I want to say. I don't think it was the last one. Oh god! Full speed turn, maximum power, just run. I don't think I will slow down in time if I attempt it. Shield reinforcement to stern only. And double mine. I figured that would cause you to break off. That's it. Oh, here comes the R-type plasma torpedo. All phasers, fire. Weaken it. Make it useless so it can't hurt me. Missiles, fire. Burned out. Okay. Target. Not you, but you. Nope, not you either. All you. Yeah, it's this gigantic, I guess, white-looking thing. Almost looks like a fish, honestly. And it goes around marauding, and it has an invulnerable shield which it can move around. And I used to think that it was only the front shield, but we found out that was not the case, that it can move that shield around to any facing that it chooses. But all other facings tend to be kind of weak. Well, not weak. The rear facing is weak, but... There we go, you're done. And I think this is going to take you down, because you have nothing left. Yep. Asteroid base successfully defended. Yeah, the first time we ever ran into the Intergalactic Dreadnought was back during Season 1. We had just gotten our first Federation Heavy Dreadnought, and then we had to fight that thing, and we lost badly. It was really sad. We lost an entire squadron. Alright, Prime Ministries is still holding to the tile, but we're going to rip it away from them. We'll take the diplomatic delivery. If all else fails, we can just run on through. So, rock and or roll. What do we got? We're being escorted by a GSC Plus, which is pretty cool. The Patton. And a BRR-3, so the pirates are stopping the pirates from doing piratey things. Interesting. And we'll prep again. Scatterpack Wild Weasel. Standard setup just in case he's got plasma torpedoes. Not that we ever really use them anymore. Like, the number of times we use a Wild Weasel is shockingly small. It's super effective against plasma, but I would much prefer to be traveling at maximum sprint and running away from the plasma than actually using the Wild Weasel. Maybe that's a wrong way of looking at it, but I can't help but think that's the better way of doing things. Because it would be better to have no damage and a high initiative than no initiative, but ultimate defense against them. I've seen 2/3-ish of the videos across your Starfleet Command, but I managed to miss that. Yeah, it's back during an early season, and it's terrible. Season 1 is awful. The mic quality is terrible. What I'm talking about half the time doesn't make any sense. Sometimes I look back at my earlier videos because someone will comment on it or something, and I just have to cringe. It's like, ugh. What if I knew now what I knew then, or vice versa. So, it's Season 1 is quite bad, and I don't recommend anyone going back for it, which is one of the reasons why I was so happy to get Season 10 out, because Season 10 was a drastic increase in quality over Season 1. And to be frank, Season 12 was probably a pretty decent increase in quality over Season 10 as well. So constantly improving, which is always nice. So we're slowly getting better, I feel. And we decided to toss some live streams into the mix, which has been a lot of fun. So all set up, and another full salvo. You'll block it, then you'll get hit by the next one. And it'll be fun. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Full power. Let's go maximum engine speed. And I'm expecting the Wild Weasel at any moment. There it is. Completely stopped. Completely helpless. So I don't recommend doing Wild Weasels, because now I can do anything I want, and he cannot contest me positionally. He can't move away, he can't move around, he's just fully vulnerable to the incoming fire that we're about to give him. So with that in mind, as soon as these forward racks are ready to go, double salvo all the way. Pull off the starboard, just so we can see what he has to do to handle all this. I think he is turning... Oh, he's also a drone ship. How cute. He's only got 4 missile launchers, though. We got 6. So we are slightly more powerful than he is. Galactic Survey Cruiser contributing 1 successful proximity photon torpedo. Ouch. That looked like it hurt a lot. So I managed to get quite a bit of damage on in through him already. And this is not going to get through most of his shield, though. Oh, no, that did it. That absolutely did it. And we'll cruise on up. Full power, and we're going to drop him off on the planet. This is a much nicer vacation home than the last one. You should be able to enjoy the view of the radioactive seas from your little villa somewhere over here. That's my plan. Get ready to ditch the guy, toss him out the airlock, so he can enjoy the sweet radioactive green seas. Pulling within range, almost 8, 7, 6, and dump him and turn. Yeah, slow down the speed. Mission successful. Pirate diplomats. In a sector with no planets. I suppose maybe the sector map is only talking about strategic planets. I suppose that would make a lot more sense. Otherwise, there'd be a planet in every single sector, and that would be crazy. 280 prestige, of course, is a reward. Didn't take the tile. Interesting. So they're holding on to this with quite a bit of vigor. And another MET-17 patrol cruising around, causing some havoc. So, do we want to just keep on rolling the campaign until the end of the 2 hours, or does anybody have anything in mind for skirmishes? That's my question. I got a light cruiser and a freighter. I'm on board with this one. We have the Montgomery and the Permit with us. The Permit being a Federation heavy cruiser. A CAR? A CVS. Ooh, interesting. So, if we zoom in here, we can actually see shuttle bays on front and back. He's got an entire through deck here, which he will be able to launch his fighters from and land them, which is quite an interesting take on the normal Federation heavy cruiser design. The HDW is clearly going to be the larger of the two threats, unless that's a carrier, which it might be. It is. Oh, it is definitely a heavy cruiser. It is a CVLR, so you are clearly our most important threat. Although the problem is you're going to have fighters, which fighters make life difficult. Fighters will make it so I can't just fire missiles at him. I'm going to have to actually pay attention to what he's doing. So we'll probably try and crunch on this light cruiser first, and then move on to him. The freighter is an FLPH. I don't think he's got anything worth contributing the fight to. Our PT is actually probably better armed than he is, so we can probably rely on them to wipe each other out. But our carrier versus his carrier, we're a heavy cruiser versus light cruiser. This might be able to get some interesting things done. Let's pull off a little bit so I can stretch out the time between salvos slightly. That way, they won't get intercepted. Oh, you have a cloaking device? Oh, you absolute... I hate you so much. You are a terrible, terrible pirate being. And I despise you with every fiber of my being. You also have fighters, which are cool, but now it's a complication that I've got to take care of. You can make a cloak. No, you're not. So the fighter managed to survive all of that. And I need to put a bomb on him. I'm going to keep the tractor beam running, just in case. Interesting plan. Now will you decloak and suddenly try and spam damage into my back? That's what I would do. He's not moving fast enough to set off a mine. Gosh darn it. Oh, now he's picking up the speed. So what I want to do is I want to tractor beam him and nail him with a whole bunch of missile firepower. Unfortunately, I've got fighters on the way. So we've killed most of them. Has my tractor beam deactivated? It did. Quite sure why. Oh, that sucks. I'm going to stay focused on your little buddy over here because I'm still more concerned about him than I am about the incoming missiles. I don't know why. He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of firepower. The problem is he cloaks, and this guy doesn't. So as much as he's got plasma F torpedoes, this guy cloaks, and he's going to make my life difficult. So, one. Bombs. Do I no longer have a forward shield? Where did the forward shield go? Are you telling me that my tractor beam shut off? Put it up to power 3. So I don't have a forward shield, and I'm not happy about that. Because not having a forward shield leaves me incredibly vulnerable to being destroyed. Did you really need to waste that much firepower on something so pathetic? Sometimes, some days. We've almost built up enough charge on our beam to make sure that he does not get to let go. Oh, he's coming out of cloak. Excellent. Prepare all weapons. Set of strength 2. I'll never let go. And I got you. I got you bad. So I'm just gonna stay holding on to you. You're not getting away. Me and you, we're friends. And we're gonna stay locked at the hip until the end of time. Or the end of your ship, whichever comes first. So keep firing missiles. Hi! You're dead. And you're not getting away. There will be no cloaking for you. Holy crap, you have a lot of red troops. There we go. That's more like it. And we'll get a salvo on this OF. I don't need to waste that kind of firepower. Fire it on him. So that's how you deal with very annoying cloak hoppers. You grab them into tractor beam, and you break their spirit. Let's get the forward shield reinforced since it's so badly damaged. Come over here to repairs. Anything worth doing? We do have some repairs to get done. Point defense system needs a little bit of patching up. It's a very important system when you've got a fighter carrier running around. He grabbed a couple of them. He grabbed all of them out. Long range phaser fire, blinking away, not really doing a whole heck of a lot to him. But we'll follow up with another missile salvo, although we are out of C-Rack ammunition, which is not great. And there goes the freighter thanks to the permits. Doing some pretty hilarious work to him. And crossfire. Point blank range fire. Wow, you just have a lot of tractor beams, don't you? I don't have anything to take that out. Marines? Hi. Tractor beams, go away. Unfortunately, he has a shield in the way. And he's slowly breaking them down. Bit by bit. This is gonna hurt. Oh, it was fake. You little faker. You're not allowed to do things like that. Only I'm allowed to do things like that. That's a lot of missiles, actually. So wait for the opening. We don't have phasers yet, because our phasers take forever to work. Just trying to operate a little bit of spam going on there. Shut this off. We don't need to bother. If I wanted to steal the ship, 18 Marines? No, thank you. We're just gonna blow it up. It would take much too long to try and take that out. On the bright side, him having to constantly shoot at the missiles he's holding onto has meant he hasn't been able to fire at us, which is very helpful since we don't have a forward shield. Or at least we have a very light one. Alright, Permit, can you just come in and wipe him out? You've got a pretty significant amount of firepower. Thank you. Somebody needs to take out those tractor beams. We don't want to do it because I don't want to waste 3 Marines on a ship that's about to die. He's doing a speed of 10, so it's not like he's doing particularly well. Come on, phasers, get a little bit charged for another pass. The TC Monty. I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference to something. I get the feeling it is. There's quite a few references to things in this game, especially amongst the pirate factions. There we go. Now we've got you mostly crippled. And decent amount of point defense, protecting us from the stern. Permit, you gotta do something about this? How about you, PT-1? You've got missiles, right? It may actually be almost out of ammunition. He may be trying to save it. Or the fighters could do it. I mean, they're at point-blank range with them. They may as well unload with their Phaser 3s. They could probably kill him in one shot. If I get around to destroy him before... There we go. Victory to the Federation and associated pirate allies. Victory is ours. Alright, let's see how much prestige it was worth for that. Can't imagine it's a tremendous amount, but you never know. 266 is not bad. Still not our tile. Interesting. Huh. We're going to have to duke it out a little bit more. I'm also surprised we don't ever seem to get a mission on 16-8. Fleet action or patrol? Take the fleet or the patrol. The fleet actions have been incredibly dangerous for us for some reason. I'm not sure why. We got a single freighter. I'm on board with this, especially if we still have the permit. Yep, we got the permit and the Montgomery still. I guess it's a single Federation freighter. There should be a heavy cruiser off here in this direction. Alright, let's get ready to kill him. I would send a probe if there was anybody, if we had any probes, but we don't, unfortunately. Let's get maximum electronic warfare. Yeah, there you are, an OLLR. Wait, is that a frigate or a light cruiser? That is not a heavy cruiser. It's a frigate. I knew it. Oh, you're in trouble. I'm going to go for you. Maximize speed time. We're going to get through this and burn him down. Get ready to crush all who lay before us. Missiles, if you don't mind. Thank you. Break off. Wait for it. Wait for it. Stand by for the follow-up. And he's turning away. That's probably a good plan, actually. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. You're dead. Oh, took a little bit of damage here. We do have a single ship, an FLDR, who has a lot of missiles inbound. And of course another one of those. Drop one of these. The Timberwolf, really? You're gonna name yourself the Timberwolf. I'm sorry, but the mech warrior in me says that is kind of an insult to Timberwolves. And I'm an Aerosphere pilot too, so yeah. Probably a bad idea to do that. So nice and easy. Hopefully, the cartel defense was down to 4. So hopefully that'll push it over the edge and give it to us. No, it's just holding out. It refuses to go down. Finally, we take a mission over here. Diplomat. So we get to drop off another diplomat. And red alert. And increase some speed. What do we got here? Huh. It's an empty one. This does not happen often, but it does happen sometimes. Where there's just nobody in system to challenge you. Increase the speed of time just in case somebody shows up. The freighter was a mech in spirit. I hope not, because that's being pretty gosh darn. That's being pretty gosh darn aggressive for a freighter. Welcome to the stream, Grave Mike. Glad you could join us. It's always nice to have people join. So we're just going to cruise on in here. Yep, apparently there's nobody here. They didn't actually want to stop the diplomatic delivery. They were hoping to put an end to the conflict, and that is not happening. We're here to make demands. There will be no surrenders accepted until you all turn over all of your cheese wedges. Prime Industries, obviously. So, almost there. Yeah, the permit's not even moving. So if the permit's not moving, that means nobody's in system. It's just us. We managed to show up before anybody could try and stop us. And transporter, get ready for the high-speed flyby. High-speed flyby. Oh, did not work. There we go. Just as we were leaving the system. Managed to get him deployed. Goodbye, planet. We did a good job. Alrighty. Oh, nope, it's gonna make me get off it's gonna make me leave the map too. The game gets a little confused when there's no opposition. It does not know when the game should end. So, hopefully this will actually push him over. I'm kind of confused as to why this tile is not dropping. Because a cartel defense of 4, we should be dropping it by 5 every time we do a successful mission inside of it. So the fact that it's still not dropping is a little bit odd. Although we are not technically connected directly to our own empire, so that may be contributing some to that. So a successful drop should give us about 100 prestige. Yeah, for free. Not still maintaining. So it looks like we just got to keep the pressure on MET6 patrol. So this may be pitting us against more traditional forces, and that would be kind of ugly. Because unfortunately more traditional forces tend to outgun us quite a bit. Although we're still rocking with the permit. Apparently we have been long contracted to escort him for quite some time. And we've got a heavy war destroyer, the Yamamoto. Yep, pretty typical heavy war destroyer. 3 photon torpedoes plus a missile rack. I'm going to guess that he's packing a couple of fighters, probably about 4 of them maybe? And the only reason I'm guessing that is because he's kind of light on heavy weapons. Normally the heavy war destroyers are packing a mix of either rear-firing photon torpedoes or additional missile racks. So when you see something this light, it could be a fighter carrier, which would be pretty nice. Fighter carriers are very powerful. Got a light cruiser off in the distance, an HDFF. So some sort of plasma destroyer. And we only have one shuttle left. That's an interesting problem. Kick the power to full speed so that we can avoid his plasma torpedoes in their entirety. Give us 6 ECCM, or just normal ECM because we want to be protected. And engage. All missiles, please. Thank you. So he's firing a plasma torpedo, and then he's going to deploy his own defensive systems. We'll drop that, and we'll follow it up immediately with a full salvo. He's got 2 full salvos in on top of him. I don't know if this will kill him, but it's definitely going to make him have a bad day. He's able to shoot down quite a few. There we go. Trying to rush through, see if I can't grab these 2 tiles before the end of the stream. Doesn't appear to be working quite as nicely as I'd like, though. Because as long as they keep resisting our influence, then we're going to be here for a while. 122 prestige for knocking out a single light cruiser. Still not taken. They're still holding out against us. We do border them, so there is that. Asteroid base defense ought to be something nice and easy, unless they decide to drop 4 dreadnoughts on top of us, which has been known to happen. And I saw something fairly large over there. I'm going to guess it's a large cruiser. Still with the permit. This time we've added the Wallace into the group. So we've also got a little asteroid base over here. And again, we're going to prep our... nope, we're out of shuttles. We're done. No more shuttles for us. So we're going to set up the forward shield and our electronic countermeasures. Hopefully that'll be enough to sustain us in this battle, especially considering we're at half loads of ammunition and we have no additional shuttles. So things could get a little ugly. We'll probably stop by at home on the next, as soon as we finish this mission, pick up a little bit of extra supplies to do some things with. And we have a BHV. Yep, that's going to be a heavy carrier. Commence bombardment. Start pulling away. He's going to have a whole lot of fighters, which is a problem, because fighters are excellent for point defense. They will shoot down pretty much any missiles you can think of. But if we stay at long enough range, he won't ever deploy them. Oh, there they go. Other ships got within range. This, I anticipate, will be enough to drop you down in speed. Reacted to it. Should have fired earlier, but I just wanted to make sure. We were playing at such long range, I want these fighters to be somewhere else before we actually start getting involved. So we'll get 2 full salvos on top of them. And this ought to be pretty good. Wow, I was not expecting that. I expected him to take a little bit more damage than that, but apparently that many number of missiles plus our little phaser barrage managed to trip something. Got a good hit into the warp core, and that shattered the entire vessel. So good job all around. 156 prestige for defending the area, and still not taken. Empire Defense of 5 too, so whoever we're currently fighting is having a bad day. We got 50 damage because we accumulate engine damage over time. We'll restock up on missiles. And apparently we're Rear Admiral now, so we have been promoted. Also a couple of spare parts. Shipyard, hi, we're Rear Admiral. Do we have anything really cool that you'll start to sell us now? BCH-2, SALR. Surprised to start using ELMARs. Oh, Elmer's glue for welding. Yeah, entirely possible. The ship's just not holding together quite as well as they should. Coming apart at the seams. Should have sprung for that good glue. Put the Gorilla Glue to bring the ship together. I'll take another monster. This might actually round things out. So, rock and or roll. Yep, it's a disruptor monster. A nice easy mission. We'll keep the speed of time at maximum. And we will engage him as soon as we can. Fun! I'm just going to fire at maximum fire rate to see what I can kind of get out of the ship. So we should be able to get 2 full salvos, I think. So we're going to have to stage our missiles just a little bit. Just get a nice big string of death heading towards him. He will not be able to defend himself from all of this. Oh, okay, so that's it. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 2 full salvos. We give the opposing faction a heavy cruiser or 2. Feels like they need the assistance. I don't know. We just came earlier in the stream. We were getting our butt handed to us. We lost a heavy battle cruiser just because they kept sending Gorn dreadnoughts at us. So we're currently at greener pastures up here. Getting bombarded by more dreadnoughts would not exactly be the most entertaining thing. Well, maybe it would be. Gotta check out, where are we currently in space? Oh, we're deep inside Federation territory, that's why. We were operating a little bit further over on here, which was getting us involved with the Gorn a lot. But we're trying to wipe out the last of Prime Industries up here, and they're just resisting. They refuse to give in, being the very defensive souls that they are. Oh god. Looks like we're fighting the permit now. The contract's finally run out. They've realized we've been smuggling things in through the area, and now they're coming for us. We've also got a luxury liner over here who's going to be providing pretty decent anti-missile missile support, because I know this luxury liner quite well. It's quite nicely equipped for what it is. I mean, it is still a Q ship, but it'll do quite a bit of damage. We are going to need a scatter pack. Unfortunately, I forgot to buy shuttles. That's not good. That is very not good, especially considering he's packing basically a heavy cruiser's amount of firepower in addition to his fighters. And that's going to make him incredibly dangerous. I'm going to have to just trust the convoy to handle their own for a little while against the against this luxury liner, because I'm going to have to focus all of my efforts on wiping out the permit. Sorry, permit, we've been operating together for so long. It feels almost sad that I've got to do this to you. But apparently, Gravemind gifted you over to the enemy. After the contract ran out. One of the two. So hopefully we've got enough firepower to kill him before he can stop us. Because it's going to take a lot to get through. First of all, his fighters are going to be fantastic point defense. So that's going to be an issue. They're only Hawks. That is one thing to remember. They're only Hawks, which is not terrible in terms of firepower. I mean, it's kind of terrible in terms of firepower. But we can probably cut through them pretty well. I'm going to come around to the corner here. See if I can't avoid the front of this. I'd like to get another force salvo. Oh, you're going to pick all of those off, aren't you? No, they passed right behind him. Oh, that was probably a mistake. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. We're cruising in now. I really wish we had a scatter pack. We could dump a whole other salvo on top of him. Shooting down a couple of them, but we're about to cut across his T and give him a nice little down the throat shot here. So a decent amount of damage. We'll dump our C-Rax as soon as we can. 2 more hits right on through. If we crush him down, those fighters go away. That's the main thing I'm counting on. So 1 more salvo ought to do it. So I'm actually going to start heading away. Oh, point defense system is engaged at full power and knocked those, knocked one group of Hawks completely off. He's dead. So let's focus on our LMDR. He's off over in this direction. Yep, sorry, Permit. We work together. Oh my god. Okay, I've got to turn around. I thought I had him dead for sure. But no, he is still rocking it. Still ready to fight and go. Oh, this might do him in. That'll probably do him in. He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot going for him. So come on. Penetrate that armor. Get right through. Yep, that did it. Okay. Alright. Where's the last enemy over here? Engage with missiles. How many more missiles I got left? I don't imagine there's very many. Ever swap the fighter types for the ship list? I haven't done that yet. I don't want to break anything. That's my main concern. So we're in mid-campaign. Once I finish a campaign, I'll start messing around with that. Because I'm trying to get a little bit ahead on that so I can do things like that. But I just worry that if I mess it up, I may not be able to fix it. And then, oh, bad things could happen. But yeah, the plan will be to go and to fix a couple of things in the fighter list now that we know what we're looking for. And then we will have a little bit more variety. Holy crap, it's traveling at a speed of 31. That's impressive. Hopefully I can stun you into thinking that you need to crash stop. I could not. But apparently you just wanted to eat that anyway. Alrighty, so that was close. After working for with the permit for so long, we finally had to annihilate it. They decided that they had to stop our pirate convoys. 284 prestige, not a single loss, and we took one of the tiles. If it's an easy enough mission, ambusher. Yeah, we'll take ambusher. We're going to extend the stream just slightly because I want to see if I can't actually win. I want this tile. It is only a light cruiser, which is excellent, and we're being supported today by the Deadlock, who is a pretty decent light cruiser. It might be considered a heavy cruiser in pirate realm, but not in most people's vernacular. He has deployed, of course, his pseudo-frigates, or pseudo-fighters, and we will, of course, engage with missiles. First missiles are away. We'll target the second one, try and hit him up with a couple of missiles as well. Come up behind our little ship here and ram him. And hopefully we will get quite a bit through with our heavy weapons. Come on. Come on, C-Rex. I know you can work. Slightly. And now, okay, forward shield. Let's get some reinforcement going on here. Because we are taking some damage that we don't need to. Target you. All their missiles. Engage. Electronic warfare to maximum. Oh, you managed to survive. Interesting. I'm really tempted just to jump on top of you with missiles. You're dead. You're dead. Okay, good. All weapons fire. Oh, that must have hurt. Right in on the front of him. Doesn't have any defense against us. Let's go back to our own view. So as we cruise around, his forward shield is down, which is great. Our little HDW friend is still lagging behind quite a bit, but that's alright. If he's not launching a Wild Weasel by now, he may not have it ready. Which makes a certain amount of sense. But hopefully... Nope, there it is. But that's alright. We're about to have another massive group of missiles ready to go. So we're just going to cruise around to his front. After all, he lost all initiative when he decided to actually do that. Which means we can take advantage of any position we want. So with no initiative, he faces 4 missiles in front. He grabs 2. And a catastrophic failure. Cascading failure throughout the ship knocked out the tractor beam, which left him vulnerable to the rest of the missiles. Bad way to go. Let's see how much prestige it's worth for jumping on a little tiny light cruiser. Only 150. But we did take the tile. Excellent. So Prime Industries has been wiped out of the northern areas. We may now focus our efforts more towards the south to deal with Prime Industries entirely. This tile is neutral, so they will not control it by the time we come back to it. So yeah, expanding the influence of our cartel quite nicely. Shipyard, of course, not giving us anything really interesting to play with just about yet. I'm not sure when our X-type heavy cruisers are going, or X-type cruisers are going to come online, or X-type destroyers, I suppose. I don't think they actually get X-type heavy cruisers. But yeah, that's been a nice little stream. We had a nice little bit of time, played through, got quite a bit done up here in the north, and we will continue our operations down to the south. Our next stream is going to be on Wednesday at about 3 o'clock. I will, of course, as usual, put the normal reminder up on the channel so you can know exactly when that is. If you're new to the channel, I'm Tirek. This is what we do. We do Starfleet Command, and we also do a game called Battletech, both of which just so happen to be 1980s board games, which got turned into computer games, which, frankly, are a lot of fun. So if you enjoy this kind of contract, hit that like button and maybe subscribe. Maybe check out a couple of other videos. We have quite a few seasons of Starfleet Command. Well, listen, I'm enjoying Rectangle. Well, Sean, leave a comment on one of the videos if you want to see us do a rogue tech for the entire stream, because I'm more than willing to do like a streamed campaign as well as the normal campaign. But just let me know if you guys have any interest on that. Anyway, I've been Derek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. Before I see the notification every time I upload these videos, press that little bell icon. I'll leave a comment about what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. And I will see you all in the next episode.